Hi guys.
Hello.
Sorry we're late. It's my fault.
It's your fault?
Yeah, it's my fault.
Why is it your fault?
Because I wasn't ready on time. That's why it's my fault.
Okay, that's good. That's a good reason.
Yeah. Because I didn't want to get up. I made the mistake of like, oh, I'm just going to like lie down for a minute. And then I was like, ugh, just take a shower. So.
Well, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I never get the right clicks on these.
It's easy for me. It's just all the way down.
Maybe. Alright. So it's ERNing Cred time. Are you guys excited? I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It's always interesting to see what your picks will be.
Yeah.
Could be anything.
And I've warned a couple people in chat.
Oh no.
I haven't told them what is coming tonight, but I did say that this is going to be a very interesting episode. So, we'll see.
Okay.
Last time I got to pick, what did we have? That was Echo the Dolphin on Game Gear, and then 1000 amps, which you yellow lit.
Yeah. It wasn't bad. I don't know.
Echo, on the other hand.
Echo, solid 2 thumbs down.
Yeah, that didn't go over super good.
I forget, did you put it on the list before I played the first one?
I think so, yeah. I think I did. That sounds like something I did. What?
Are we gonna do the thing?
You ready to do the thing?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do the
But
thing.
people are quiet. It's very chimey.
Yeah.
Alright, let's do this. We'll stop that music over there. And then we'll go to, oops, that's your Bill Town. This one. And we put this all the way up.
Yep.
And we unclick this guy.
Hey everybody, I'm MisterRadon, and it is time for another week of ERNing Cred with Earn the Almighty, who is on the camera.
What do you want me to do?
Let me see.
Okay. I'm gonna close my eyes until you figure this out, because I don't want to be spoiled.
Why isn't it doing any audio?
Alright.
Did I forget to record it with audio?
Maybe.
Were you muted?
I might have been.
Wait, we don't hear it though.
Yeah, but it should still be showing on the OBS levels.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh.
If those levels aren't up, then they can't hear anything. Okay, close your eyes. Oh, you do hear it? Weird. You hear the video. Okay.
See, that's what I thought.
Hey everybody, I'm MisterRadon, and it is time for another week of ERNing Cred with Earn the Almighty, who is on the camera right there. And this week we're doing my picks. So I've got 10 games on this wheel, and you know, the games on this wheel are kind of different, I would say. We're doing a lot of stuff on this wheel, at least for the first spin this week, that are of genres that I don't think a lot of representation has been given to so far on ERNing Cred. The second wheel is going to be different. We're going to take some games off, move some games around. But this is a list of 10 games that I think Earn should at least try and get a feel for. We're going to give this a short little spin and find out what this week's game number 1 is going to be right now. This week's game number 1 is NFL 2K on the Sega Dreamcast. Now, it might surprise you, but Earn does watch a lot of football through fantasy football. Let's see what she thinks about playing a football game that maybe isn't Madden.
So, what do you know about NFL 2K?
I've never played a football game in my entire life. Video games.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, sports games just aren't very intuitive for me. My brother was really into like the basketball one, so like basketball, like NBA 2K15, right?
I've got up to like 13 now.
13. There we go. Oh, and the Dreamcast.
Yep.
Okay. Sega Sports. Yeah, we had NBA 2K. NBA Live 2K? I don't know. We had one of them for the N64. And I played
that would
like...
be NBA Live.
Yeah. Played like a minute of it with my brother, but I don't really understand like how to control multiple players and how to pass and intercept and all that kind of stuff. So control wise, I think this will be an interesting experience.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm open to it. I'm more open to it now than I would have been before I watched football.
That's true.
Not that I know any of these players really, but
You know the teams.
that is true.
And this is our first Dreamcast game on ERNing Cred.
Is it?
I think so.
Wow.
Because you've played the Dreamcast.
NGE Freak, thank you for that host.
I think all you've played on Dreamcast is what? Choo Choo Rocket and Virtua Tennis?
Bomberman.
No, that was on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I think maybe.
So, here's your Dreamcast controller.
Thank you. So big. Bovine was asking about, or somebody asked in Bovine's chat, like, favorite Dreamcast games. So I said Choo Choo Rocket, Virtua Tennis, Crazy Taxi, which I haven't actually played, and Typing for the Dead, which I also haven't played.
That's
the
what.
Dead.
That's what someone said. Wait, is that what you said? Or?
That's what I said, because I've watched some of them.
Yeah.
So I haven't actually played 50% of those myself.
That's true.
But
That's very true. Okay, we're almost set up here.
getting those wires wired. Choo Choo and Virtua Tennis are solid titles. As an avid DC fanatic, I approve wholeheartedly. Yeah, everybody seemed really pleased with my choices, so I felt good about that.
You didn't tell them those are the only two games you played. You're just like, I like those.
Yeah. No, I didn't disclose that particular piece of information. I mean, we were pretty great at Virtua Tennis, so.
Yeah. All right. Do you have audio?
No.
Of course not.
Is it only me that it does this for, or
No,
is it?
it's-
Okay.
It's me. All right, let's restart. Because the distinctive Dreamcast startup noise is truly one of the best things about the Dreamcast.
It's very 90s. Beep, replace my batteries every 5 power cycles of the system.
Yeah, you don't have to worry
It's
about
like it
setting
just
the
gets
time. You
plugged
just
in.
go ahead and select. Use the D-pad, move it over. There you go. All right. So, what team are you gonna pick?
I don't know. Like, maybe I'll play one that I don't like, because I'll be really shitty at it. Did you read a story? It's a little loud. Is that just me? Probably just me. Did you hear one of the Bears linebackers? I think, oh, that's the wrong direction. Saved a guy at an airport by doing a Heimlich maneuver. Yeah, the guy was chilling in the airport
from exhibition
and
all the way to the Super Bowl.
was eating lunch and
As we
got
roll
a
the
piece
calendar
of
over to
brisket
the
stuck in
big
his throat.
2000,
And
people around the world are raising questions about what the next millennium will have in store.
nobody.
We also have some questions
There was
about
like
the year
one lady who
2000
tried to do
and how
the Heimlich,
exactly
but she
it
was
will
strong
impact
enough.
the NFL.
And then
Will the champs come back to win
Saved
yet
them.
another Super Bowl? Or will they be dethroned along the way?
No.
Will it be an era
They
of
won't.
offense?
Yes, they would be too
Or will the
Presumably
crushing
by the Vikings.
defense of yesteryear return? Will even more records fall? Or will some forever withstand the test of time?
So far.
These are some of the questions we hope to answer along the way. In a game where millions
See, I
of
understand those
viewers,
references. I wouldn't have understood
thousands
any of those
fans
references. Like,
watch a
Yeah.
battlefield
Yeah.
of 100 yards for 60 minutes, where 22 men from 2 teams fight for the right to one single ball.
These graphics were state of the art.
it's so delicate. Yeah, they talked about motion capture on the back. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
So Sega had done some sports games in the past, but this was sort of their big rebranding when the Dreamcast came out.
Mm-hmm.
They came out with NFL 2K, NBA 2K,
I think they had an NHL one as well.
I don't think I realized that NBA 2K started with Sega.
Yeah. Yeah, and so like the company that makes 2K was like a second party developer for Sega, and then they just sort of, when Sega wasn't a console maker anymore.
Yeah, they're like, fuck it, we'll just make it somewhere else.
Yeah. You can continue without saving. You need like a whole memory card. And I have.
It's a rough game out there, rookie. It's a rough game out there, so we start everyone out on rookie. For you pigskin pros that want a bigger challenge, step on over to the options menu and bump the skill level.
You got 10 options as well as a health button.
This controller is so awkward.
What's awkward about it?
Like, my fingers want to be up more, like this direction, to like get the right angle on these. Maybe my hands are just too big.
So you wanna hold it like the thumbs are basically gonna be down here. You're gonna want your thumb tips right here, and then these resting on the triggers. Is that better?
A little bit, but I don't know. I think my fingers are still just too long. Sad they didn't make these games anymore. They were so good. Madden got scared and bought out the NFL and NBA game rights.
Just NFL.
Just NFL.
Just NFL. The NBA wouldn't give EA exclusivity, and actually EA bowed out of NBA games for a few years because they've just been really bad at it.
They're like, nah, we're good.
But yeah, the reason why this series died, the NFL 2K series, is because after NFL 2K5,
it's the AFC versus the NFC. I'm Dan Stevens, and with me is
do I have to play as the Jags?
We should have a great battle about to start on the Sega Sports Network.
The electric kick.
Hold the analog stick in the direction of the play you want.
The Jaguars
Cool, thanks.
decide to defend instead of receive. Let's get started.
Move the yellow arrow with the analog stick. By doing so, you adjust the direction as well as the trajectory of the ball. It'd be really cool if they would let me fucking read the whole tutorial message. Ooh. That's cool.
Hollis signals to the referee for the kickoff. And the kick's off. Anspard drills it in. It's a short return, and then he gets brought down.
What airline did they get to? Dotted lines indicate man coverage. Circles indicate zone. No! I can't read that. I can't comprehend the football terms that quickly. Defense, select a play. Offense, choose squads information. I don't know what any of this means.
So, alright, can you pause? Okay. So let's talk pigskin.
Okay.
So a 4-3 defense means you've got 4 linemen, 4 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, and then your secondary, your safeties.
Okay.
And your the other one.
Dude bros.
Yeah. At 3-4 defense is inverted. So you got 3 linemen working the line, and then 4 linebackers to come in for the pass rush, or to drop back into coverage.
Okay.
So that's the base understanding, like 4-3-3-4. That's
okay.
First and 10. There's the snap. This is the ball. They pick the ball up. Tackled by Walker.
Well, that was 31 flavors of ugly, but at least they held on to the football.
So the arrows are the blitzers, the circles are the zones, and the lines are the blockers, I think.
Wait, I need to see the information before.
Second and 11.
the
Those buttons that
line.
are appearing on the screen,
And
that's
he
for
got
the
several,
quarterback.
but he goes down very hard at the end of that play.
What am I
Tackled by
supposed to be
Lake.
doing?
Just tackling whoever has the
Gain
ball.
of-
You're
How
on
do I
defense.
tackle them?
Run
Nice
into
play
them.
by the defense to keep them at
How do
3rd
I
and
know
long.
who I'm
Now,
controlling?
all you
There's
do
a
is
circle
keep it up for
underneath
one
the
more
player you're
play.
controlling. So see how
Ball
this
at
is
the
bracket and there's a
26
circle
yard
over you?
line.
Yeah.
That's you.
And the flag
Yeah,
is
that
down.
makes sense.
Encroachment. Number 90 on the defense.
Boo.
Third down.
Whatever. Hold down A to charge moves.
Ball on the 31. Parker down
What?
on the play.
You can't wait him to snap the ball.
Encroachment. Number 90 defense. 5 yards, still second down.
I know things
They're
get
doing really
frustrating
loud at
out
me.
there in situations like this, but making mental mistakes like that and getting penalized just makes it worse.
Getting penalized just makes it worse.
First and 10. It's snapped.
The button you're pressing right now is
He's
A
at
to
the
switch which
45.
character you're controlling.
Tackled by
I don't
Watson.
know what button you're
It's
pressing.
B. B switches
Did you
characters.
see that? The running
Let's
back
pull out the
kept the
manual.
play
I think
alive
you
there
need
with
some
a
manual
brutal.
assistance. Tacgle your eyebrows. This is stuck in there. Hang on. Someone didn't put this in correctly. Okay. On defense. Also, if you don't want to pick a play on the play caller screen,
Mm-hmm.
you can press the A button once without moving the stick, and the coach will pick a play for you. If you want to lock that play, and you press A a second time. Okay, on defense. B or the D-pad selects a defender. Analog stick moves them prior to snap. If you want to shift the whole line, you've got a lineman highlighted. You can press L or R to move the whole line. X pumps up the crowd. So if you want to get the crowd noise going, you can press X. And that's the basic controls. There's like audibles and stuff like that. You don't want to really worry about that too much, I don't think. After the snap, okay, so the B button, you take control of the defender nearest the ball. So if you get sent out somewhere and you want to tackle the guy, you press B. A is a speed burst. Y is a jump to knock down or intercept. And X is dive or tackle. L or R is a swim move.
A what?
A swim move, so you can like
Bat
Move.
things away.
move around
Horizontally?
people.
Oh, okay.
And the A button power move thing I was talking about says press A while running to fill player arrow completely, then press any special move button to perform a more powerful
Immersion
tackle or swim or jump, basically. You got all that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Jamal Anderson made a powerful stick on that play. You know, Peter, he's the kind of running back that works on his upper body in the gym as well as his legs.
That's right, Dan. A good stiff arm is about more than brute force. It's all about timing, knowing when to get that arm out there and stop the other guy's goal.
It's tight. Right. Hit
Yeah,
Fairborn.
suck it.
Peter, after picking those yards up,
That's a
he is
fumble?
just ground into the turf.
I just
Tackled
looked
by
up and
Hardy.
saw fumble speech. I was like, oh, good job.
It's first and 10. The snap. Anderson from the toss. He's at the 45. Tackled by Darius.
What acceleration! He simply outran his man. You just can't coach that.
Jamal Anderson really beat his opponent by using his head as well as his feet. He knew just when to kick it into high gear, Peter.
So are you saying he's a great player from head to toe?
Well, as a respected broadcaster, I've never stooped to such a painful pun, but you go right
I
ahead.
will.
Ball on the
You're shaking your head at that?
'Cause I'm mad.
behind. And he will not get back to
Eat
the
grass.
line of scrimmage.
Hunt that ball.
No, now it's
A
third.
loss of maybe a yard.
This is where the D wanted them. Now they have a chance to stop the drive.
Ball at the 47-yard line. There's the height. Callaway gets it.
Smeenge.
And he will have enough
One of your
time to put the first
defenseman's
down.
name is Smeenge.
Good play calling, Dan. Third downs are
How do you
good
feel about
downs, and
that?
that call got him the first.
1st and 10. The snap. Chandler's way down the
No,
right
what? No.
Callaway gets the perfect pass. Touchdown! Chris Callaway is a superb all-around athlete, as we saw right there. He was able to catch the football and then run and juke for even more of a forward game.
If I were coaching that team, Dan, you'd bet he'd start figuring prominently
so now we're
in
gonna
my
talk
play
about
calling.
offensive
You can't
controls.
coach effort like that, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's up. And the extra point is good. They put the first points of the game on the board, 7-0.
Okay.
Alright, so before the snap, you can use the L or R triggers to view the receiver's button assignments, which means, like, if you hold R, you're doing a pass play and you hold R, you're able to see which receivers are which button to throw to them. So when you snap the ball on a pass, you're going to see buttons on the field. Remember you saw like the A, the B, that's what button you push to throw the ball to that guy. The analog stick left or right will send a player in motion if the formation allows it. The X button lowers crowd noise if you're the quarterback. And the B button is a fake snap. After, if you're running the ball, A is speed burst. Left or right trigger is a stiff arm for whichever arm you want to stiff arm with. Both of them together is a shoulder to drop your shoulder and charge with it. X is dive, Y is high step, B is spin move. D-pad is a lateral. And then the A button power move thing works the same way. It's A to snap the ball if you're the quarterback, and then whatever button you want to throw it. If you use the D-pad, you'll throw it away so you don't take a sack. And that's pretty much it.
All right.
Anderson gives the referee the signal for the kickoff. And it's away. Nice little pickup on the return. First down, 4 more tries. It's second down. Mark Brunell did a poor job reading the field on that play. The ball was up for grabs, Peter.
Dan, he's just damn lucky that a member of the secondary wasn't one of the ones who grabbed it. Otherwise, he'd be warming his buns on the sideline right now.
It's now 2nd and 10. Tosses left. Winning catches the ball.
First
That
down.
would be a first down, Peter. He just made enough yards.
I just made an appearance.
Oh, I don't know how that ball got in there. That's an example of the old cliche, you can't defend a perfect pass. And that was it.
1st and 10.
Can't defend a perfect pass.
There's the snap. Brady just got the first.
And you can also wait if you don't want to throw it right away. You can like maintain the pocket and let them run their routes farther.
Made a terrific toss on that play.
But then
He
you
put it
know, the
right
longer
into
you're in the
receiver's
pocket,
hands,
the
Peter.
more
Dan, he's the kind of quarterback who almost never makes a wild throw. He's always calm, controlled, and lethal.
Sort of like you. It's 1st down, 10 yards to go. Tackled by Sauer.
What?
There's a handoff.
Fred Taylor.
But I hit
moved
Y,
the friendly
and mine was
skies
right
there
there.
to get the extra yardage.
play- do you
Really
know what play you
nice
picked?
hurdle.
No.
I'm pretty sure the red plays are running plays. So I think it was just like a play action. sort of
Ball at the
thing.
41
Where you have to
yard line.
imagine if you're playing against a human opponent, they would see the button and
It's
expect
nice.
to pass, and then you would
Brunel passes middle. Brady
hand the ball off
gets
and
the
see.
pass. That will be a first. A gain of 16.
That's an excellent catch by the tight end on that play.
Kyle Brady made a solid catch there. It's nice to see the tight end worked into the offense like that.
Yeah, that's great play calling there.
1st and 10. Brunel passes.
No!
He had it for a
Bopped him
second,
in the
but it
elbow.
bounces out of his hands.
Alright, it's only 2nd
Incomplete.
down.
Second
There's only
down.
13 seconds left.
In the first
He
quarter.
just could not maintain possession. Boy, it is coming down out there.
Sure is. And if a receiver's
very
going to make
nice.
a catch in weather like this, he has to focus extra hard on maintaining control of the football.
Ball at the 42-yard line. Behind Taylor off the pitch. Carrying defenders. He stopped short of the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Robinson. Loss of about a yard on the play. Now for a quick weather update, we'll go to Michelle Westfall down on the field.
Dan, the field is very wet, and traction is a big problem for the players. I'm seeing the equipment managers on both teams switching their players' spikes from 5/8 to 3/4 of an inch. They're hoping that this adjustment will help
Did
with
you
some
know
of
that the yellow
stepping
line
that's
represents
happening
the
out
first
here.
down line? If I didn't know that, how the fuck would I do any of this shit?
Shelton gets
Yeah!
tackled by Smith.
Dan, let me ask you this. Do you think Michelangelo took one big swing with his chisel and created David? No. You got to chip away and chip away and chip away. Not be forced to go for broke on 3rd and long.
Parker is in to punt for the first time.
Baby punt.
Yeah,
It's down by the kicking team.
Yeah.
So you gonna stick with the tutorial mode?
Does it matter?
I mean, just depends on what you want to get out of this.
Their brand new 1st down, 10 yards. Oh, that was painful to watch, Peter. Tackled by Hardy.
Jimmy's
About a
getting
yard on the
jiggy.
play.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been nice if they had gotten the yards to make this a 2nd and short, but they'll have to make do.
It's 2nd and about 9.
Second and about 9.
Anderson catches the pass. He's going to feel that tomorrow for sure, Peter. Tackled by Hardy. Gain of close to 5 on the play.
Dan, I go with the play action right here. I think that's going to work.
Ball at the
I like how they tell me
27-yard
that
line.
now.
Yeah.
Helpful. But like, do a thing with A. Oh wait, don't do it before the ball snaps. Cool, thanks.
Anderson from the pit. Drags the tackler. Tackled by Pop. Bryce Pop is
Nice-
doing
nice
a great
3 and out.
job as part of a very solid defense. They really don't have any tracks for the ball to be
What?
exploited.
Well, this offense is going to tire
Well, maybe
pretty
plug in
quickly
the
of
second
banging their
controller.
helmets against a brick wall.
Straczynski.
Are they
after a
going
3
for
and out,
it?
will punt
No.
it
No,
away.
they're punting.
It's snapped. .37 picks it up. Dragging defender.
That looked like you were
A
going to break the
53-yard
kneecap.
punt on the play. Nice kick.
Blades don't bend that way.
To move the stick. Oh no. That's weird.
First and 10. Brunel passes right. Brady catches it.
I'm Brady
About
now.
drive. A group of receivers already thinking,
On the
what pattern he's
Yeah.
going to run.
Tight
when
end
he
for the
gets the ball.
Jags, Tom Brady.
Dynasty in the making. The crowd is more excited.
Ball on the 45. Brunel throws to center field. Whitted catches the ball. And he'll be plenty past the first down.
I'm so excited for touchdown celebrations this year. It's the first time I've ever watched football with any regularity that
shut
involves
the
that.
defender out of the
Yeah.
play.
Totally. A defender can't let his man control position like that. The receiver was in perfect position.
You know, Peter, this receiver is a nightmare for the defense. He's got great hands, and he knows just where to be on the field. Brunel goes center field.
No!
What's up, Stage 1 boss? Yep, Ern's playing some NFL 2K.
And he may have gotten a little
Yep.
too hyped up on that pass. That was an erratic throw that really missed
You're
his
an
man.
erratic
We've
throw.
reached the 2-minute warning. Mark Brunel really botched that pass.
Whoa.
He'd better settle down, or he could do some real damage to his team by throwing an interception. It's now 2nd and 10. Jones hits the ball, and he goes
Going after getting
downfield,
hit,
and he
making the
goes
catch.
down and hard. Tackled
Clutch
by
play.
Tuggle.
Do what I can for my team.
Clutch Jags football here.
Is it run?
Yeah, it's one play.
Ball at
Jaguars.
the 18-yard line.
Nice, found the hole.
And he gets a few, but the D sure
Elevated,
made him pay
second
the price.
level.
Tackled by Sauer. First and 10. There's the height. Taylor calling the tackler. Wow, that was a big hit, delivered right at the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Carter. It's
You
2nd
good.
and 10.
You tie it up before the half, I believe in you.
There's the snap.
Oh, you did it!
A 15-yard play for the score.
Toan asks, why would you Jaguars?
They didn't give me an option.
I mean, if you're good at Jaguars, this is a pretty good year to Jaguars.
And the extra point is good. That score will deadlock the game. We're all tied up.
Onside kick.
That's the sword you used to ban Mudu. But you can do whatever you want with it.
Hollis signals the referee for the kickoff.
I'm bad at the power choice.
And he sends it away.
Psyched him out with that bounce.
They get the lucky onside kick to work for them. And he gets tackled after going nowhere on the return.
Wait, I got an onside kick? What?
No.
Yes.
Did you?
Yes, I'm playing offense still.
Oh yeah, because it bounced over
Yeah.
all our heads. Nobody touched it. Yeah, you totally did. Go for
That's
the quick
hilarious.
score.
It's
Fuck, what button was it?
10. The snap.
You can
No.
you can do whatever you want with it, Toan. It's fine.
Mark Brunell.
Most people I mod just
That
stop
really
watching the
didn't
channel
seem to
forever
have much
anyways,
behind
so.
it. The receiver never had a chance at
No,
it.
it's all about discipline. No matter how bad the pressure is, the quarterback has to relax.
Do what
and
you
throw
see
smart
fit.
passes, or he's liable to throw an interception.
Ball on the 34. Throws to center field.
No!
Third down. Marty Carter might have made some contact
Alright.
downfield, and that
See
might
you,
have been a penalty.
see you in the
Not
next
if he was
life, Toan.
looking back at the ball, Dan, which he was. That's just hard-nosed defense there.
Most of them injure themselves with the swords. Could be. Could be.
Ball on the 34.
Well, you're in field goal range even if this doesn't work. You can still take.
The height. Brunell goes center field with the
Ah! Suck it!
Alright, press start, press start. Call timeout.
a game.
There you go. You can get this. You can get this. And you kicked to start the game, so you're going to get the ball back after the half.
It's gonna crush him. Alright, what do I do with this timeout?
Well, you called the timeout so the clock stops.
Oh, okay.
That way you have more time to pick a play and, you know.
Okay.
You got 3 of them.
It's first and goal. Brunell throws.
Oh.
Grady was the intended receiver on the play, but it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. It's second and goal. Brunell ends zone.
Yeah! Suck it, Falcons.
Colin says, oh god, early 2000s with overseas offensive coordinators thought loose hooks still worked. Falcon says, what I would give as a kid to have timeout stop the clock, I'd misbehave all the time. Just put on Zach Morris's. Drilled it.
It's away.
Go over, he's going to break through the net.
Last score now gives them the lead. 14
Yes.
to 7.
I mean, you can lead the Jags to victory.
I can do anything.
Yeah. Maybe you're just like godlike at Dreamcast sports games. Have you ever considered that?
Ooh, maybe. It's
This
an
is-
untapped talent.
This is just your niche. It's just Dreamcast sports games.
Hollis gives the referee the signal for the kickoff. And it's off. Hanspard gets it deep. He gets an average return and then gets hauled down.
Zach Morris versus Captain N with their timeout and pause powers. Let's see who wins. I don't know what Captain N is.
Captain N is an old. Well, maybe we should watch that. That's probably a copyright flag.
First down, 10 yards.
It's an old cartoon where about a kid who gets sucked into his Nintendo.
Oh,
And
okay.
so he travels from game to game,
It's tight.
making things right and trying to get
Ah,
And
sack.
he's pummeled in the backfield. Tackled by
with his
Smengy.
teammates. Kid
Along with
Icarus,
6
Mega
on the
Man,
play.
Simon
And it's the
Belmont.
end of the half,
All
and
of
the game
whom
is
are
within
terrible,
striking
terrible
distance.
representations of
14
their characters.
to 7.
6 first downs. Turnovers. I'm all about those passing yards.
Yeah, rushing yards.
Like, I don't want to fucking run the ball. I'm bad at that.
You did get that clutch first down on a run, though.
That's
You
true.
converted that third down,
The
that
defense
third
can
and
make
2
it
on a
hard
run
for
play.
the
That
other
was
team
smart
by
play
throwing
calling for
tough
him
on
there.
this down.
Pretty smart stuff.
You can down the ball in the end zone by pressing Y into position.
Yeah, this is like early Dreamcast, too. I think NFL 2K was one of the launch titles for Dreamcast. It wasn't a launch, it was
Let's go
within like the
quickly to
first
Michelle
month.
Westfall with this halftime update. Michelle?
During halftime, I had an opportunity to
Steve
say to the
Hurst.
head coach of the Jaguars,
You use your arms
the
and shoulders.
defense, in
Ooh.
his words, is the key to controlling and winning the game. And you can bet that if they play the second half like they played the first half, they'll do just that.
That
Thank
guy's
you, Michelle.
arm turned white for a second. It was weird.
It's 1st and 10. Taylor off the top, and he's level. He'll lose a couple. Tackled by Crockett.
Bad at running.
About a yard lost.
It's
Dan,
okay,
they need
most-
to
Is
get
this
at
the
least a
left
few
trigger?
yards
Is
here
that
to
what
keep
that
them
is?
out of
Like
third
you
and
want,
long.
yeah, it's
Okay.
left trigger. I think most people start out playing football games just passing like 95 to 100% of the time. I hardly ever run running plays
Brunel
in
throws
football
it
games.
left.
Yeah.
It will be 3rd down.
Once you
Watch
get more
for the pass
nuanced,
here, Dan.
you start adding some runs.
Ball on the 27. Brunel tosses it right.
Oh,
It will be 4th down.
all right.
Is it because I don't wait
That
long
was
enough
a
for the
poor
receiver to
throw.
get there?
That could have
It
gone
just
right
depends on
through
the
arms of a
coverage too.
defender.
Like that guy was in double
Mark Brunel
coverage,
really made a poor
but
choice
it
with
can
that
be
throw.
that. That can
I'll
be a
tell you,
factor.
anytime you give a defender a turnover opportunity like that, you take your life in your hands. Barker will punt it away after a 3 and out. It's snapped,
Good fun.
and they call for a fair catch. White.
Like how he called for a fair catch.
And
like,
then
on-
ran.
on the other side of. He wasn't even near the ball. He was like, "Oh, fair catch." He's like, "No, the ball's over there, man. It's on the other side of the field. What are you doing?"
You don't get to make that call, sir.
1st and 10.
Let her play 2K5 and have the house. I don't know what that means.
2K5 is the last NFL 2 game. I didn't get to finish the story actually, so
Oh no!
Madden was a huge game, obviously. You know Madden, everyone knows Madden. And it started out huge, and it's been huge ever since. But
He almost
when
had to
NFL
laugh.
2K
That's
came
what I
out,
look like chasing my
it
4-year-old
was a
son
legitimate
around the
threat to the
backyard.
throne. People liked
Ball on the
NFL
48.
2K more than Madden. And so it was outperforming Madden. And NFL 2K5 came out.
Yeah, stuffed.
He's hit hard.
And it had a lot of really innovative features to it. And in addition to that, like, they had been kind of battling with Madden. They never really had the same name recognition, but
Third and
the
short,
people who
Dan.
played
Big
NFL
plays are what
2K swore
defenses
by it. They said it was a
thrive
better
on.
game.
Ball
So
at the
2K
48-yard line.
released NFL 2K5 for $20 brand new. And so here's our latest games with all these new features.
Chandler
You
over
know,
the
really
middle.
experimental
No.
stuff.
Mathis dives for it.
And it did really great. People are like, 2K5 is incredible. There is, you've heard of Tecmo Super Bowl, obviously.
Terrence Mathis
Most people
made a
consider
really
Tecmo Super Bowl
sound
the best
move there.
football
Coming
game
back
ever
to the
made.
ball, that was what made the reception.
But
And
there's
he
a
knew
strong
exactly
argument to
how
be
much
made
to
for
come back.
2K5.
Nice play.
It's that good.
They're brand new.
So
first down.
EA's response to that was to negotiate a contract with the NFL for exclusive video game rights.
Just past the
So
marker.
that
will be a
The only
first
way
down.
they could keep making
11
NFL 2K
yards
games
on the
is to
play.
not use any of the teams,
Tim Dwight
any
had
of
to
the
reach out a
players.
little to make that catch, but he
Why
recovered
bother?
nicely.
Exactly.
Dan, a receiver
No one
can
But it's not the
ball when his
NFL.
hands are
Yeah,
away
no
from
one
his
would buy
body
it.
like that.
So
He
they
did a great
bought
job
their
pulling
way
the ball
out
close
of competition.
as soon as he got it.
You can't coach
That's
that
really
game.
pathetic.
There hasn't been an NFL 2K game
First
since.
and 10.
Fucking Madden.
That's pretty much how I feel. It's pretty much how a lot of people feel. Like, it was considered a really kind of shameless, like,
Downfield right.
cowardly
Galloway
move
gets
for
it.
them to do.
He's got the first down and then some.
Tone
21
says
yards on the
2K
play.
understood human motion better than EA
Chris
for a very
Chandler
long time.
relied on his incredible arm for a devastatingly accurate pass. Great pass. First and goal.
Yeah.
That was a punishing blow
Grass.
delivered in the backfield. Tackled by Smengi.
Smengy.
Loss of close to 4 on the play. Setting up at second and goal. The snap. Chandler.
No.
And he scores.
What even is that? What are you even doing with your weird claw hands? Sticky animation? I want to do a Seahawks jump over the line block. How do I do that?
You're better off just letting him kick the extra point.
It's away.
You didn't jump.
And they
You're a
connect
little
on the
jump
extra
on
point.
this.
And
They score, and we are
Tough.
tied up
Because
for
I
the
jumped.
second time.
Yeah, EA they have not been able to put together a good basketball game in a while. That's sort of the only revenge of 2K is that they have shut EA out of making
Anderson
basketball games.
signals the referee
They still
for
try
the
every couple
kickoff.
of years, but the live series got so bad
And he
that
puts
it's
it down.
pretty much just NBA 2K.
what?
And the ball spins out of the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars will take over.
Oh, do the jump the line?
Well, I think they're making it an illegal play this year. Like, you can't do it in football in 2017.
First and 10. Brunell throws right. Great.
Nice.
Just got the first. Nice job. A gain of 11.
Gain of 11.
Mark Brunell really zeroed in on his receiver on that play.
He's formidable when he's on his game, and he definitely is today. It's all about accuracy and focus.
Jaguars.
First and 10. There's the snap. Taylor gets the toss.
5 yards.
By
Good run.
Archambault.
Good run.
The line is really making some offensive plays happen. They're clearing the decks and allowing room for the runs.
It's now 2nd and 5. There's the height. Taylor doubles.
Yeah! Oh, so close. So close.
And then he stopped cold. Tackled by Robinson.
Tackle suction.
A gain of 5.
Force it up the gut, Dan.
I'm an
That's what I
Earn
do.
fan.
Use power to get the short yardage.
Those are the coach picks, I think.
Ball on the 40.
You can do it.
The height. Taylor.
No!
Tackled by Brooking.
4th and 2. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go for it.
Dan, the defensive team did their
I'm gonna
job.
pass that
They
fucking
stayed
ball.
in there at 3rd and short and made the big stop.
Get out of here. Can't see. How do I... What?
You're picking your formation first. Jesus. God, the Lions hate. We were at the playoffs last year.
Ball on the 38. Brunell throws it.
No!
Handled the ball incomplete. They didn't get the first.
All
I
right.
didn't get the first.
Still a tie game.
I didn't get the first.
You gotta hold your ground here.
Well, they had to have been thinking that they just could have muscled it ahead for a
Field
few
goal
yards
range.
and get the first. You know, as a former lineman, I know that on 4th down, the defense is coming at you as fast
Yeah,
as
we
possible.
sure have.
You're right.
We
Those
had to
short
play the fucking
yardage
Seahawks
plays
last year a while
are next to
ago.
impossible. Anderson dribbled past the line. A gain of 8.
What's interesting here, Dan, is that they could go for a big
Guys, I
play.
get you.
2nd and short gives you all sorts of options.
Here we are at the end of the 3rd quarter of play, and we have a tie game.
You let me know the next time the
14
Eagles play
to
a game in
14.
January, Tony.
Ooh. Oh,
We
fuck.
have a penalty
Fuck.
marker on the play.
Encroachment. Number 96 on the defense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Good eye by the
That's
ref
that
on
impatient.
that one. He was not where he was supposed to be and drew the encroachment
That's
penalty.
what I was trying to do. I was trying to hurry
First and 10.
get them to snap the fucking ball.
They're going to come after him. Chandler taps to
No.
the left.
I can't.
Callaway
This
catches the pass.
business.
And he's in for the score. Chris Callaway.
The
not only
directional
had the hands to
change?
catch it,
How,
but
like, you're trying to
moved
come
get
this way
downfield in a hurry.
Oh, yeah. This is one of
to
those moments
tackle
where the
runners,
receiver
but
can
then
only pad
once
his
they
catch,
pass the
but
ball,
has
you're
to
trying to
set
go
the
that way
quarterback
to
as well.
intercept.
And QBs love a receiver who can run like that. You know, every other player on his team ought to be saluting effort like that. To make the completion and tough it out for more yardage on the ground, you know, that's real hard-nosed pro ball.
It's up, and they connect on the extra point. That score right there will put them out on top, 21-14. Anderson gives the referee the signal for the kickoff. And he kicks it away. And he gets a nice little pickup before being taken down. It's first down.
You think
10
so?
yards to go.
You guys got some good players. You got some good additions.
The snap. Taylor.
I don't think the line's going to do that well this year. I think the line will if Green Bay has
Brent
injury
Taylor
problems.
really outmaneuvered the secondary on that play.
Oh, beautiful. You know,
It's
you
going to be
just can't
another
coach
miracle
that.
season like last year.
Ball on the 31. It's snapped. Brunell drags the tackler. Trips.
Hey,
And
wasn't a
after
sack.
making just a couple on the play, he's really nailed. Tackled by Smith.
I was like watching the tight end, and I'm like, why won't he throw the ball? Oh.
Ball at the 32-yard line. Brunell passes middle. McCardell gets the ball. Big play that gets him past the first.
Yeah. Watch your claws.
Keenan McCardell really threw it into overdrive on that run.
Wow.
Terrific display of speed. First down, 4 more tries. It's tight. Brunell passes it middle, and it's too far in front of his man to pull in. Incomplete pass.
So we can start
Second down.
Who was he throwing to? I didn't see a friendly face among those guys. He's got to pick his shots a lot better.
Sir.
Mark Brunell was
No, you
this
be an answer.
close
Yeah,
from
it took
throwing
me a
an interception on that
Okay.
play.
Quarterbacks believe in their arms so much that they can't see what's in front of their face. That's how
Yeah.
Smith gets the pass, and he has the
Got to
first
talk
down.
fantasy trash the other day.
Did you?
14 yards
That's what
on the
Tony said.
play.
Oh.
Jimmy Smith
Nice.
tipped away from his defender right off the mark. I tell you, Peter, that can't be good for a secondary's self-image.
Omar, maybe?
Maybe.
It's 1st and 10. Brunell throws it middle. It's 2nd down.
Came right inside on your
And a
route.
quarterback cannot let a pass like that leave his hands. It's a wasted effort, and some light-fingered defender could pick it off.
Mark Brunell just seemed to panic on that play. He threw the ball into a sea of defenders.
Oh, Dan, he was just lucky that wasn't an interception. Those linemen must be fuming that they couldn't get that pick.
It's 2nd and 10. There's the snap. That
Tony
brings
saw
up
a
3rd
league member at
down.
dinner and told him that he could take him back to that restaurant later in the season.
I want to know who it was.
I think if you press L or R on that screen, you'll get 5 different plays. Yeah.
Ball on the
Yeah.
33.
Comes the first down.
The snap.
Yeah.
Catches the ball. That will be a 1st down, Peter. He just made enough yards. 11 yards.
I actually didn't know where you were going with that play. I thought you were going to throw it to the
Once
Y
he
out.
took off, it was
Outside,
all
coming
over.
across
Those
the middle.
DBs didn't stand a chance.
Good vision.
Alvin Whitted really burned his man on that play.
You know, we had a guy in college who was that fast. You'd offer to race him to the end of the field, and by the time you finished talking, he was already back.
You know, I hear nobody could touch you during those hot dog eating contests in the school cafeteria.
Well, that's another thing.
Nice.
Gets the ball.
First and goal.
He's got enough for the first. 17 on the play. Jimmy Smith did a great job to get open and has one of the fastest 40-yard times in the league.
You know, Dan, I was watching him do some sprints in practice, and you know, he's almost as fast as me.
Yeah, right. In your dreams. Taylor calling the tackler. He gets a
Run the ball to save my life.
Running the ball is hard.
By Robinson.
There's a reason why everyone's just throwing it
Gain
now.
of 3 on the play. And we have reached the 2-minute
Because they
warning.
all don't have
Second and goal.
David Johnson.
No!
And they get a couple,
So close.
Peter, but that was
They're
a
in about a
big
yard and a
hit.
half.
Tackled by Drenette. A gain of 2 on the play.
It's crunch time.
The clock reads 1:46. Brunel passes end zone, and that brings up 4th down.
What you gonna do?
Lonnie Bradford
Go
swatted
for
down
it.
what
Yeah, but what are you
truly
gonna
should have
do?
been
Oh, I
a
don't-
catch. That pass, it should have been right in the receiver's hand.
Yeah, that's a really smart play by the defense. He was really walking on eggshells there, breaking up the play without drawing an interference flag.
1 minute, 37 seconds to go. It's Height. Brunel throws end zone. They did not make it. They will
Get a
forfeit
safety.
the ball on down.
You get safety.
It's a first
Just
down.
need to get this sack
Huge
right
stop.
here.
Not just the 4th, but keeping them out of the end zone. Defense can't play any bigger and badder than that, Dan.
Peter, that was a
Oh,
big
no.
stop there to keep them from adding the 6. Great job. A flag is thrown on the play.
Never mind.
Number 96.
Tolan, what is that league member's
Dan, he should have known better
team
than to do
name?
that. Any ref worth his salt is going to throw the flag on encroachment.
1st and 5.
Ah, no, stop hitting buttons, Aaron. Jesus.
Encroachment. Number 96 on the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, they've got an epidemic of penalties occurring on this defense. They need to calm down and concentrate.
Well, you did pretty much just
1
jags it
minute,
up. a little
34
bit.
seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice tackle.
By the D to stick him a few yards back. Tackled by Hardy.
Might wanna think
loss
about
of
calling some
maybe a
timeouts
couple of
here soon,
yards.
if you can get the stop here.
Dan, I like how the defense played that first down. Let's see if they keep it up.
I like the way the defense played that first down. Yeah, that's because I tackled him with yardage to spare.
They're trying to run the clock out on you here.
No.
Just wait till after this play. and I'll start
Ball
calling
on the
timeouts.
9.
What is that going to do?
You might get the ball back and you can score and tie it up.
But what's the timeout going to make any difference?
It's going to stop the clock from running, so you have time to...
Ugh.
Not only did he lose the yards, but he really took a shot there. Tackled by Schwartz.
Yeah, stop. Do a timeout.
A loss of 3.
Dan,
You want to
look
get
at
the
him
ball
go
back
to
and
the air
time
right here.
enough on the clock to get a
The
touchdown.
Jaguars will take their first time out.
That's what I thought.
.40 on the game clock. Anderson breaks through. Tackled by 3.
You want a timeout.
Red zone stop.
Timeout. That's it.
Timeout.
You have one
Take
timeout,
their second time out.
34 seconds.
Jabbar
to
3
get a touchdown.
had a big stop that saved the
It's not
day.
gonna happen,
They
guys.
have to be happy with the
Just throw
outstanding
deep
performance
passes.
of this
Lots of
defense.
deep passes.
You know, when an individual can step up like that, it can really have an effect on the whole team. It
That's
gets people
fair.
fired up and makes them play better.
Straczynski is in the end zone and sets up the punt.
Shotgun formation every play. Just trying to move the ball downfield.
And it's down by the kicking team. The clock reads 26. Brunel passes it right. Smith catches it.
Oh, did you make it out of bounds?
Smith
You did.
proves
Okay.
that in a flat-out foot
Good
race,
stuff.
he has
Good
no
stuff.
skill.
Dan, you know, I'm often praising receivers for being
Across the
wily and
50.
agile, but sometimes there's just no substitute for being flat out, no compromise, like the wind, fast.
Poetically put. 22 seconds on the clock. It's snapped. Brunel throws to center field.
Run! Run!
Okay, call timeout. Timeout.
First
So you
down.
pretty much only want to get a touchdown here.
Yeah.
You do not want to catch it before the end
The
zone.
Jaguars will take their last time
And
out.
if you want to throw the ball away while
Brunel
you're
showed
in
why
the pocket, just tap
turnovers
the
don't
D-pad.
appear very
What?
often on his
If you want to throw the ball away when you're in the pocket, tap the D-pad. So if you don't have anyone open, and you just want to chuck it and get another shot at it,
Okay.
there you go.
14 seconds
First
on the
and
game
10.
clock.
I have to play overtime.
Going for the point.
No!
Oh.
Why?
That will bring up second down.
Dan, what they need to do here is not focus on getting the first down, but on positioning themselves for the first
Yeah, out
on
of
the
the
next
pocket.
play.
That's a good point.
Second and 10.
I don't know if this game has intentional grounding actually.
Brunel passing
Good
to
question.
score.
Yeah!
Oh.
What? Why did he catch that?
The receiver
got
on the
hit.
play, incomplete.
You got hit before you
It's
bring it
third
in.
down.
A passing situation, Dan. They've
Okay,
got
you
to
got
go
two more
to the air
downs.
to
You
get the
can do
yard.
this.
The clock reads 6 seconds. There's the height. Brunel is going for the score. McCardell was the intended receiver, incomplete. Fourth down.
Try this one.
2 seconds left. It looks like a blitz. The height.
No, run, no!
Oh.
Oh, great yardage, but man, I'll tell you, you could feel it up here. Tackled by Archambault.
So sad.
It's a good try. We got a couple options here. This is practice, tournament, exhibition, season, playoffs, fantasy.
I think you like do full fantasy draft. That's cool. Let's do exhibition game. What? Are those the only ones I can
No, you
pick
pick
from?
you pick one of those, and then you hit the button.
What?
Hit the button. So you're changing the team by highlighting it. And then
Oh, that's dumb. What?
these are like classic players.
Oh, I see.
Because Vikings is at the end of the NFL alphabet.
I don't know if it's... Who should we play? Oh, I know. Ah, fuck! How do I go back?
I don't think you can.
That's fucking stupid. It's gotta be it. There we go. Too late.
Yeah.
Got too far. Ah, alright.
Oh, they're terrible in this game too. Oh boy. So now you move your controller. Oh, I don't think you're playing with any team.
What?
I think you're having the computer play itself.
What? Well, that's interesting too. We'll see how the computer thinks will win.
Probably able to jump in too, but
We have 2 teams today, each struggling and each very hungry to turn that around.
go to controller. So you want to move your controller up to
Oh,
whatever.
I see. Okay. Should we be lions?
It's up to you.
Maximum passing. What does that mean?
It's like a different control setting. This is
99?
99, yeah.
It's not a great year for the
They'll
Lions
receive
either.
the opening kickoff, and they
This is
send their
either
return
the first
unit
year
on
or
the
the
field.
first year before Joey Harrington.
Joey Harrington. He was a duck.
Hansen
Was he
signals
really?
the referee for the kickoff.
Yeah, he was a duck in Detroit too.
And he boots it away. Walker will return the ball.
Fumble.
Someone deflected
Look
it.
at that. Look at that.
Yeah!
Well, that was 31 flavors of ugly, but at least
That was
they held on to
31
the football.
flavors of ugly.
First and 10. There's the snap. Batch throws. Horton catches the pass. He's got the first down and then some. A
Self-applauding.
gain of 20 on the play. Johnny Morton snatched the ball downfield to continue the offensive drive. Good catch.
McNabb is
that play was
McBad,
executed
says
so
the,
well.
says the banner back there.
Well, now why did he do that? Between those great catches. It's just
Yeah! Suck it, Eagles.
That was a nice job of the quarterback putting the ball exactly where the receiver can get it, but the defense can't.
Can I do a
Charlie
2
Batch
point?
knocked his
Yeah.
arm and
Sorry.
unleashed a near
Screen pass
perfect
or a run
pass.
or a pass.
Oh,
The
I see.
receiver only had to put up his hand.
That's right, he must have crosshairs over his visor. With accuracy like that, the defense
Jason
has their
Hansen.
work cut
God,
out
I miss
for
him. Love you, Jason Hansen.
The snap.
It's a fake.
Passes end zone.
Oh, we
And
missed.
they fail on the 2-point conversion.
The cover man had to stretch a little, but he managed to hijack that ball without breaking stride.
They did like a
That's
wah wah.
key play for the defense.
Wah wah wah.
Hansen gives the referee the signal for the kickoff. And the kick's off. Walker fields the kick.
Look at the ref back.
He like sticks his foot out.
Jason
Sucker.
Hansen's kicking career with the Lions was so long, it lasted from the Super Nintendo to the PS3.
Dang.
First and 10.
Don't press any buttons, Aaron.
Great read by the D to stick him a few yards back. Tackled
Stop.
by
Good
Jones.
stop. Shut those
Lost
Eagles
1
down.
yard on the play.
Dan, I like how the defense played that first down. Let's see if they keep it up.
I'm gonna call tight end too deep.
Second and 11. It's Ike. Peterson looks, then passes left. Small gets the pass. Big yards there. He's eventually pushed out of bounds. First and 10. Peterson throws right. 87 catches it. He's at the 20. And he'll be plenty past
I
the
don't think I
first
fully
down.
understand the
Gain of
defensive control
26 on the
system.
play.
It's okay.
87 caught the ball downfield for a picture-perfect completion.
The way you're playing defense,
It's
the main
first
thing you
down,
want to
10
focus on
yards
is
to go.
getting a sack. Like, once the ball's out, it's kind of tough to react to that. The way you would react to like calling plays to a set
Ooh,
of
they make him pay
zones
the
that
price
would
for the short
protect
yardage.
against the pass.
Tackled by Aldridge. Ball at the 19-yard line.
Or playing like someone in the secondary and playing back in coverage to react to the pass.
Peterson passes in middle. Hampton scoops it up. Big play that gets him past the first. A gain of 17 on the play. First and goal. Staley from the pitch.
It was the worst dive. Ugh. Seizure.
In a video game, you expect graphics.
It's away. And the extra point
tried.
is good. And with that score, they take the lead 7-6. O'Neal signals to the referee for the kickoff.
It's okay. Score
And
real
it's
quick
off.
here.
23, grabbed it off the ground.
I forgot there was a thing I
He'll
could do.
pick up a few on
Yeah.
the return
Take it
before
easy.
being tackled.
It's all right.
Well, it looks like the offense is going to start this possession with a couple of strikes against them. They've got really poor field position.
Got really poor field position.
First and 10.
Charlie Batch, that's who's the quarterback right now. Oof.
There's the height.
Well, I think he might have Barry Sanders in the
By
backfield.
Garland.
It's
I
all
saw
about
number
the
20
Raspy?
back.
Raspberry?
The tight end was
Sanders?
able to
I saw
intimidate
number
the
20
defenders
back there.
and get a little room to make the catch.
Might not be the worst idea to do some run
Made a
plays.
solid catch there. It's nice to see the tight end worked into the offense like that.
Yeah, that's great play calling there.
They had to have done this
And
roster.
less than a yard.
I'm surprised retired.
Thatch throws long left.
Yeah!
Gets the ball. He's way past the marker. First down. 21 yards on the play.
Great job. The receiver slips back to pick up that reception.
First and 10. Thatch way down the left sideline.
Run! Run!
Yes!
Run!
Yes!
Run! Yes!
For the score. Charlie Batch made a terrific toss on that play. He put it right in the receiver's hands.
Beautiful.
Dan, he's the
Yeah.
kind of quarterback who almost never makes a wild throw. He's always calm, controlled, and lethal.
Sort of like you.
Also Jesus.
Yeah. Pooping and Jesus.
It's snapped. It's up.
All right, well, now that the Lions are in the lead, why don't you go ahead and press start?
Now just
It's been an hour and 2 minutes. Had to give you enough time to execute a comeback drive.
Naturally.
So what do you think about NFL 2K?
I am surprised how much I like it, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I really didn't like it at first because it was so confusing. I was just like, there's too much.
There's a lot of information that hits
Yeah.
you when you pick up a football game, and you can kind of get by with not thinking about all of it. Like that's
Yeah.
it's kind of nice because you can learn how to do a couple simple things, and then when that stops working, you can well, let me add this into my game
Right.
plan. Let me try doing this instead.
Yeah. And so that's kind of like the point where I was at, where first it was just way too much. It was overwhelming. I didn't understand how to control anything. And I think the tutorial is not super great because they don't give you enough time to fucking read the screens before
Yeah,
it disappears.
That was weird. That was a weird choice.
But I mean, like the actual playing and I mean, like any sports ball, it's fun to score.
Yeah.
So,
Well, what did you think about playing defense then, where you're not trying to score?
defense, like I said, was kind of frustrating because I didn't fully understand. Like, it's always hard to keep track of what player I'm controlling and where the ball is, whereas it's pretty straightforward to play offense. You know, like, you're the quarterback, you choose where to, to send the ball, and then you just go forward as that player. So it seems like there's not as much confusion with players and positioning and things like that when you're playing offense. So defense was a little confusing and frustrating, I guess, to be effective.
So this was your first time playing a football game.
Yes.
And you, like you mentioned at the start of the hour, would not have known anything about this, really.
had it not been for us dating plus fantasy.
Yes.
So let me ask you, because the way I learned about football, I mean, I watched it when I was a kid, but I was like 7. It didn't make any sense to me. So the way that I learned how football worked and the way the rules and everything worked was by playing Madden, by playing football video games and Tecmo. Do you think you could have learned football playing a game like this?
I mean, maybe if I had the manual, and it's like if I studied the manual first, because I think if I went into it just with the amount of knowledge that I had from like before we started dating, it would have been 10 times as overwhelming, because not only would I not understood the controls, I wouldn't have understood the terminology or the concepts for what was going on. And it doesn't really give you any of that in the tutorial. So I would have felt very, like, overwhelmed, I think, if I had just tried to start it up. If I had the manual and it explained some of those concepts, I think that would help give me a foundation.
It really doesn't.
For learning.
The manual does not really go into... I think it kind of assumes a sort of baseline knowledge of football. So... also, we have, since this is the greatest hits version, we have the ad for NFL 2K1 on the back. And the early NFL 2K games were kind of interesting because they all had Randy Moss on the cover. Like Madden had like their cover athlete. NFL 2K was like, no, Randy Moss. Randy Moss
why
is great.
would you not
just
want Randy Moss?
More Randy Moss.
I see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So if I was going just dig into this. I mean, I feel like the instructions are fairly straightforward. Like, it's like, do this with the ball and do this, you know.
Yeah.
Catch it this way and stuff like that. So I still feel like I would have been really overwhelmed with like the offensive plays probably. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, even with your current level of knowledge, you did kind of default to...
Yeah.
Because you never had to think about it from the coach's perspective.
Yeah.
You just want this player to get this many points, and that's good. Like,
Right. And I think playing a game like this certainly would give me more insight to watching real football, and the idea of, you know, the way that you set up your line and the way plays are run.
Yeah.
Things that you don't really think about as just kind of a casual observer, or even like playing fantasy. You know, like you said, it's you want your player to get points, whether it's your team or your fantasy team or whatever. But there's not as much that goes into actually trying to discern the technical details of it, unless you really feel like that's something you want to learn.
I think the first thing you pick up from playing a game like this is like you start to be able to see like passing routes. Like, oh, okay, he's lining up there so he can run this way, and like that's how the play is designed.
Yeah.
Lets you sort of see the X's and O's a little bit better.
Yeah.
What didn't you like about this game?
Instructional wise, I feel like they could have gone much more in depth, or at least had the option to. You know, like they say we start everybody out on rookie, and if you want to play something more difficult, you can go into options and up the difficulty.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's still like rookie for football video games and not like rookie for football.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it would be, I mean, obviously we didn't really have time to go as in depth, but in the options, but I think having something that really breaks down the different plays would be helpful. And like I said, defense just seemed really complicated. It's either like too simplified where you're just trying to sack the quarterback, or so complicated that it's not effective for somebody who's kind of in the middle that way. So.
Yeah, and I think there's sort of this baseline understanding that most people aren't going to walk into a GameStop and be like, I guess I'll get a football game.
Yeah.
You know, so they don't want to inundate you with too much, like, this is what a football looks like. The goal is to get it to the end zone. You know? But it would be nice to have something in that vein.
Right.
I definitely can agree with that. And like you said, we just kind of scratched the surface on this. We only played a tutorial match and like a quarter of an exhibition, if that.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about what to expect from this game going forward?
I mean, what is the difference between all of the different...
Well, let's go out to the main menu real quick, and I'll see if I can help break it down a little bit with the help of the manual, which I just keep pulling out and then putting back in.
And not having an easy time doing either of those.
Yeah, because it's a damaged manual. So practice, I think, is where you do like drills. It's where you actually like do the mechanical stuff of playing the game.
So maybe that's something more of what I'm thinking of, where it's not like as pressure, time sensitive.
Yeah. We've got tourney, which I think is for actual. Okay, so these are like one-line descriptions that don't tell me much. Okay, see tournament on page 17. So attorney.
Attorney is like probably where you can set your own brackets.
Yeah, you choose to play in a new tournament with 4, 8, or 16 teams.
Okay.
You determine human or computer from each input.
Okay. And then exhibition is just like a one-off.
Yep.
And then season would be like if you were playing through a full.
Yeah. Okay, so practice.
16-game season.
Practice is the place to tighten pass routes, fine-tune the running game, and learn about defensive positioning techniques. You have 3 different practice modes. You can do special move practice, that teaches you the buttons and like how to do special moves. There's full scrimmage where you line up against another team. There's offense only where all you do is there's no defense on the field and you just work on like route timing and stuff like that.
Well, I'm just looking to see kind of what
the
training and what doesn't make sense. How are you not going to pick a team for training?
Atticus says, I think that information alone may be useful and entertaining for this upcoming season. It could motivate to analyze what formation they're in, just 4-3 or 3-4, for example.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think it would be something that would be more beneficial to... I think it would enhance my appreciation of football besides just hoping for points. Are they really... They're just going to practice...
I mean, you're in offense only right now, so...
I know, but... Because I hadn't
controller,
picked a team.
Yeah. 39. You're gonna pick the Eagles because the Eagles are set to offense right now, and if
so they're just gonna keep running plays by themselves.
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
By choosing the Lions, you are sitting on the sidelines going like, "Woo!
You go, Eagles." There it goes.
Down.
Yeah, it's so easy when nobody's trying to tackle you. It's so cute. They're like a little school of fishes.
Yeah.
Look at them go. They're so cute. Okay.
So those are your practice menu options.
Okay.
What else do we have? Season and playoffs. So season lets you play the full season. Playoffs just lets you jump straight to the playoffs.
That makes sense.
Options is options. Quick start is you just let the computers set up everything and you just play a game. So they pick the teams, they pick all the stuff.
Oh,
and
okay.
You just jump in, you start playing. Customize lets you design your own plays, your own players, and your own team. So you can make your
like
own.
mix and match.
Yeah. And you can also like make all your own people and then just make your own team.
It's kind of cool.
The one that I find most interesting is that fantasy option. Because I don't know that I've ever seen that in a football game before. And that actually is, you do a fantasy draft. You do a fantasy draft and you track their stats and you run a fantasy season.
Oh shit.
Fred's got him organized by the big Steve Young.
Hell yeah.
Put him on the Dolphins. So it basically just takes all the players, shuffles them into a big pile, and you draft your team. Kind of a fun option.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning and Steve Young.
Quarterback heavy.
Yeah.
Strahan, I know that name. I don't like that it doesn't like... oh, this is just quarterbacks.
Yeah. So if you go to hit over, like right,
oh.
punters, wide receivers. Like you have to do your defense.
Oh my gosh.
Too, so you
That's
can kind
intense.
of
Alright.
build your team up that way.
That's cool.
Yeah. Does playing this game make you more interested in playing other football games, either older or newer, or both, or why?
Et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, yeah.
Atticus wants to know why Plummer was rated so high.
I'm sure he had a lot of upside back in '99.
I think it maybe makes me more open to playing football games in the future.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily like, ooh, I can't wait to try other games.
We're not we're not in full Daytona mode here.
No. This is me after Gran Turismo.
Okay.
Where I'm like, okay, it's not as awful as I thought it would be. So we'll see what else comes up.
Right.
You know, if somebody was like, hey, let's play Madden, I wouldn't be as like, ugh, why? or as intimidated about the physical gameplay.
Right.
There's still gonna be a lot more tweaks, I'm sure, in later versions, but
It depends on what era of football or what era of sports games you're playing. You know, you go from like a really sort of simplistic, these are the rules, here are a couple basic mechanics,
yeah.
to modern day where you can have it be accessible, but most people are playing it sort of at this advanced level where every aspect
You
of
have
the
to tinker
controller
with
is
everything.
doing something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, that's a little intimidating for me still. It's a little much. But if somebody was just like, hey, let's pick up Madden and play a couple games, I'd be like, all right, you know.
what was the most exciting thing about playing this?
Touchdowns. That's a stupid question. I mean, but just like successfully making it down the field and scoring points, you know.
Yeah.
There's more of an immediate success than in a lot of other different video game types. You know, you can be like, oh, I finally beat that level, but it doesn't have the same kind of like immediate gratification that scoring a touchdown does.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, one more question and then we'll get to the verdict.
okay.
Are you more interested in trying out another NFL 2K or switching gears to Madden or Tecmo or a different franchise and seeing how they approach it?
Probably more interested in seeing a different franchise. So, I mean, especially because if it was going to come up, like in a social situation to play a football game, at this point it's gonna be Madden.
Yeah.
So kind of seeing what the difference is between this game and Madden. I mean, it's gonna be a little hard because there's generational differences, obviously, but
Yeah. Depends on what Madden you end up playing.
Yeah.
I mean, if people say like, let's play Madden, they usually mean the newest one.
right,
So-
right, and so it's hard to like get really excited about the 2K franchise when I know it's basically dead.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
but I would be interested to play 2K5 now that it's been hyped up by you and Toin, just to see kind of what that creme de la creme was for this version.
Yeah. A-Scythe is over there in the chat just yelling blitz.
What's up, A-Scythe? Yeah, you just missed the bulk of the gameplay. I lost as the Jags playing the Falcons, and then I started an exhibition match Lions versus the Eagles, and Lions were up when we had to quit, so
Yep.
good times.
All right. Well,
Now I
let's
just
get
want
your
glimpses.
verdict on NFL 2K for the Sega Dreamcast.
I'm going to red light this one. Not because I didn't enjoy it, but I think if there was one that I would get more involved with, it probably wouldn't be the 2K version.
Yeah.
You know, maybe 2K5, something like that, but
An all-time great.
yeah,
But not just like. I mean, people
like
don't.
a football game. Yeah.
Unless you're like a hyper sports nerd, you don't sit here and go like, well, I'll jump in on like Madden 96.
Yeah.
Because
Like
if you-
this game is 20 years old. I want to check it out. Learn all the players.
If you're a sports nerd, then you sit there and you actually argue. You know, like, okay,
Yeah.
mechanically break it down. Which Madden is the best Madden? Which 2K is the best 2K?
Yeah.
How did the best Madden stack up versus the best 2K? So it's a bit more. These are games that are meant to be played the year they come out and then sold back for $2, if
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You know, like they're not things that sit in a collector's shelf. They're things that are like you don't go back and relive the joys of, you know, yesteryear.
What's
But
happening?
Screensaver.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, we're not your screen.
Yeah. So.
Auto draft. Should have been the 49ers with Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. That's the 80s, son. I gotta go way far back.
Alright, so red light for 2K.
Yep. But not an all in all unenjoyable experience.
Right. You've had very few of those, I think, where it's just like,
Yes.
this is
I
miserable.
hate everything. I think like probably the first maybe 10 minutes was pretty unenjoyable.
That's a lot of games for you, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's always this like this valley, and it's like, do we ever get out of it? That's the mystery. Is how far out of the valley do we get with you?
That's true. I mean, but the thing is, like,
Unless it's a cute game. If it's a cute game, then
I'm
we start
super
on the
psyched.
mountain.
Yeah. Well, but see, that's how Echo was. I started on the mountain, and then I just like fell all the way to fucking into the valley of depression,
Yeah.
frustration.
Well, we've got another game lined up for you.
Yeah, we do.
You ready to check it out?
Yes. While I do that, would you get me some water, please?
Absolutely. Do you have a glass?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, the turtles are in my room.
Okay.
Alright, so we're gonna crank this volume up. We're gonna go to ERNing Cred.
Hey, everybody.
Oops, uncheck that one. And check this one. Alright.
All right, that was
See what we're
NFL
playing
2K for the Sega Dreamcast. I hope that Ern enjoyed that. I hope that you enjoyed that. I think that's the first Dreamcast game we've done on ERNing Cred so far, so it's pretty exciting. We've got wheel number 2 here, and we've swapped out a couple of games. Most of it's still the same. We're going to give it another short spin here and see what game number 2 this week's going to be. I did the 2, and behind the wheel you couldn't see it, so I'm 2. It's game number 2. Give us another short spin, and here we go. Game number 2 this week is...
I'm gonna have to watch the VOD later.
The Animals for the Sega CD. I'm not sure how this one's gonna go, but we'll give it a shot and see what Ern thinks. This is a weird episode. I'm sorry, but you know,
Your face worries me.
and I have to apologize. It's my picks, but let's see what
When
Ern
you're, like,
thinks about The Animals.
Looking like an apologist to the chat, that worries me.
So, what do you know about The Animals?
I know it's on the Sega CD because I read your lips.
It is on the Sega CD. It is.
That's all I know about it.
Well, it's got animals. There's going to be a lot of firsts. This is a weird one, okay? So, you can't win this game. You can't lose this game.
Okay.
It's not a game. So, I'm going to let you decide how long you want to play this.
Okay.
It's entirely up to you how long you want to play that.
If your game's been played, then it's time to trade. A true multimedia experience. It's from the San Diego Zoo. Breakthrough video with sound technology in the animals lets you see and hear over 200 exotic mammals, birds, and reptiles in over 60 minutes of video clips. I could watch the whole thing in an hour.
Theoretically.
Using movies, sounds, and stories, The Animals also brings you the most complete and up-to-date information about our animal neighbors from experts at the world-renowned San Diego Zoo. If you love animals, you'll love The Animals. It's fun and easy for children and adults to explore the vast resources of the animals. Clicking on the habitat map takes you instantly to the animals that live in one of the Earth's major climate zones, including tropical forests, deserts, savannas, or tundra. Climb aboard the multimedia tour bus for a narrated tour of animals in disguise, fact or fable, and jaws, claws, and creature features. In the storybook theater, you'll hear fascinating animal stories such as Raising Gordy Gorilla, Protecting Endangered Species, and Wild Safari. In addition to over 300 animal and habitat exhibits, you can visit Animal Nursery. Learn how animals unable to survive on their own are cared for. Kids Corner. Activities of special interest for younger explorers, including fun projects and interesting animal facts. Zoo Gardens. Understand the delicate balance of plants and animals. Inside the San Diego Zoo. Take a behind-the-scenes look at the history and mission of one of the world's best-known zoos. Center for Reproduction of Endangered Species. See how scientists help save some endangered species from extinction. With fucking. I'm into it. It's like one giant animal documentary.
Yep. So I'm not going to have a lot to say, because obviously you're just going to be like watching videos and commenting about the videos that you're watching. So I'm just going to chill back and let you enjoy the animals. And it's being weird right now. Why is it being weird?
I feel like this is going to be very exciting for chat.
Well, hopefully they like animals too. Is there sound?
Yeah.
Is it crackly?
No.
Okay. That is the wrong controller. This is the right controller. There we go. So
Sega.
you and chat should just nerd out about animals.
Okay.
And you just won. You beat the game.
Yes.
You earned some cred.
Yeah.
So
We did it. A true multimedia experience.
we'll still talk about it when you have decided you've had enough. But
Okay. Islands. Zoo Garden. Stories. Research Center. Taiga. Savannah. Tropical rainforest. Mountains. Tundra. Nursery. Tours. Desert. Dry forest. Did we hit everything? Obviously we had to check out the baby animals first. All about babies. So this is like the first DVD.
yeah, kinda. There were a lot of these, like when CD-ROMs came out, the opportunity to have digitized video on optical media was, it had enough room for these videos, so it became a thing.
It's hours before the first visitors arrive. A time for morning greeting and the day's first meal.
It is a little feedbacky. I don't know if it's supposed to be that way or not.
See an animal that sleeps up to 20 hours a day, and it's kind of difficult to recognize that an animal that sleeps that much can actually have.
Probably the best I can do.
They really
Okay.
do. They're very unique animals too, so they're really fascinating. They're actually marsupials rather than bears. A lot of times people call them bears. That probably originated
Yeah.
because they look sort of like teddy bears.
Nope, worse.
Worse? Hang on. Pull this cable. How's that?
It's not playing anything yet. It's still a little feedbacky, just like it was before we fiddled with it, so I think it's fine.
Yeah. You want controls?
Yeah.
So these icons, you got like text, movies,
videos,
yeah.
pictures. Oh my gosh, they weigh him on a little bear. Guys, look at his little face.
Hi, Barbara. How are you today? Change your diapers over here, okay? Gotta cut a hole for your tail. Come on, come anywhere.
He's cutting a hole in the diaper for his tail.
There you go. You can't help but feel like a mom. You know, you're here
If you want to
every day,
cancel out of something, you
5
press
days
the
a
C
week.
button.
For how many years?
Okay.
A number of years, and you can't help but take care and wonder how they're doing, if they're doing well, and that attachment that
That's pretty much all you need to know, honestly.
have for
Okay.
the animals in your care can't help but make you have that maternal feeling, whether you're male or female. You know.
Little baboos.
It's an African pygmy falcon.
He's so tiny.
My closest attachment has been with some of the gorillas and some of the orang some time back. Alvila, the female that's over there now, gave her first bottle back in the 60s when she was born. Back when she was born, I went over to the children's room that night, and they had a little bit of liquid when you get down there. And you start to go to sleep, I pinch her foot just a little bit. She'd wake up and take a couple of drinks and go to sleep, and I work through the night that way. And by the time the children's room person come in the next morning, she'd taken a fluid. Well, I kind of feel close to Alvila.
Said he fed her in the
When I
60s.
started working here with his mother, she was 2. I waited 20 years for this. I think he's pretty good.
That's really adorable. Just like, peace. Okay. This walking situation is interesting. A miracle tapir? Walking watermelon. It does kind of look like a walking watermelon.
Yeah.
Swimming. Tapirs are weird. It's like a bear pig anteater. Look at that nose! I feel like the shoulder buttons should do things.
This game predates the shoulder buttons, so
okay.
you only have those bottom 3 buttons in the start and the middle, and that's it.
Oh, it's so ugly. Look how ugly it is. Look how big its feet are.
Yeah.
Its feet are as big as its head. God, that's ugly. It looks like the things from Dark Crystal. Is that? Okay. Alright. Ba-doo-ba-doo. Oh, no, we want this one. Alright, let's take a tour. See what we can see. Cat tour! Let's do that.
So the tour is going to be like a big guided presentation, basically.
Snow leopards are my favorite.
It's going to take you through like all the cat stuff.
His little face. They're one of the most elusive big cats.
Yeah.
They have a big ass tail.
You should tell that to the microphone.
Psst. They're one of the most elusive big cats. They have big ass tails. I thought I was just gonna go. Welcome to the cat tour, where you are the guide. Cats are among the most beautiful creatures on earth. All of them have wonderful glossy fur, and most of them are decorated with elegant patterns of spots and stripes. It is really easy to see why people have always found them fascinating and why ancient people sometimes worship them. Cats are beautifully constructed for the role they play in nature. There must be hunters to keep animal populations in balance, and for this purpose, cats are well equipped. Their bodies are heavily muscled, well-armed, and powerful. There are many different kinds of cats, and they live in many different kinds of places. They are found on every continent in the world except Australia and Antarctica, and they live in almost every kind of climate. Some are found where it is very dry, and some where it is very wet. In fact, cats are one of the most successful groups of animals on Earth. They are found in more places than any other groups of mammals. Cats are often categorized as either big cats or little cats. So what is the difference between a little cat and a big cat? Strange as it may seem, scientists have had a hard time answering this question. You might think that a little cat is simply a cat that is little, but it is not that simple. Some little cats are very large, and a few of them are larger than some big cats. Doesn't make any fucking sense. You might think that big cats would do things in a bigger way than little cats, but this isn't always true either. Some little cats can jump longer distances than big cats. And one little cat, the cheetah, can run faster than any big cat. In general, little cats are also very good at hunting, also as good at hunting as big cats. In the end, scientists have found only one thing that is always different between big cats and little cats. All big cats can roar, but cannot purr, and all little cats cannot roar. For this reason, we might be better off if we separated the two groups of cats by the sounds they make. We could call big cats roaring cats and little cats non-roaring cats. It's from Zoo Books.
Yeah. So I think these are all the text files.
If I just go right here. No. Oops. Sorry, African lion.
Skip.
King of the jungle. Who doesn't live in that jungle?
There's Asian jungles.
They live in savannas.
Do the Asian lions live in savannas?
Do you want to hear him?
No, it's okay. No, it's fine.
Kiddos.
I think if you go to the sides where it says African lion bobcat and then press a button, it might take you to that page.
Oh, because I'm pretty sure I didn't try that already when I was doing this over here.
And you can walk off the side. There you go.
Okay. Mugshot. Zebra kill in Africa. If we listened to Toto, do you think we'd get in trouble?
Yeah.
Everybody else out there in chat, go to YouTube. You must listen to Toto's Africa while we're doing this. cat eyes. You hear fucking seals and shit in the background, I think. Alright, so we did Asian lion.
So you get an ABCs of cats.
Yeah. It's picture quality though. Canadian lynx. Goodies. Have you ever heard a cheetah meow?
Yeah, I think so.
It's really cute.
Canada.
Nailed it. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Fishing cat. No! I mean, Siberian tigers are pretty cool too. This is making me sleepy. Oh my goodness. Those ears. Fade to black. Face.
Ready for snow leopards?
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that tail.
Yeah,
It's so
cute.
big. Somebody's getting a bath. Oh, he's so cute. What do they sound like? They sound scary as fuck. Alright. Let's see what else we have here. Factor Fable. God damn it.
You gotta be a little more patient on that.
We just saw this video.
You can see. Yeah.
Camels do not store water in their humps.
No? What do they store in there?
Fat.
That seems less useful.
Lengthy lizard.
So you might have to read the text to...
Can porcupines shoot their quills out like arrows? Does a camel store water in its hump? Etc. etc. Yeah, you just go to each animal, I think. Over here. Maybe it's some music. Maybe it's because camels live in deserts that we think they store water in their humps. They don't, but they can survive for days, weeks, or even months without drinking anything. When there isn't any water available, camels get liquid from the plants they eat. Then, when they do find water, they restore themselves by drinking gallons in one sitting. Their humps are storehouses for fat, which provides camels with extra energy when food is scarce. And think about it, there usually isn't much food in the desert for a vegetarian like the Bactrian camel to eat. Nailed it.
Why would you be a desert animal and be like, I'm only going to eat plants?
I mean, it's not like there's much of anything to eat, so... What do you think the fact or fiction is for this one?
Probably about being venomous, maybe, or being a mammal that lays eggs.
Well, those are things that are true. Oh, scientific contradiction. If you've never heard of a platypus, you might have a hard time believing such an animal exists. So did some early scientists. They did not understand how an animal could not only lay eggs like a reptile, but also have glands for nursing, just like other mammals. Another interesting thing about the platypus is that the male has a venomous spur on its ankle for stabbing attackers and defending its mate. The resulting wound is very painful, and the venom, kind of like the kind found in snakes, is strong enough to kill a dog or cause paralysis in people.
There you go.
Yeah,
there's two things
right.
people that know about platypi.
Platypods. What do you think this one is?
I don't know. I don't know what an emerald tree boa is.
It's a real green boa constrictor.
Okay. Is it made out of emeralds?
Ooh! Snakes, that's serious. Just snakes in general. Do snakes bite with their flickering fork to... What? People think that they bite with their tongues? They smell things with their tongues. A tortoise, a Galapagos tortoise! Run, motherfucker. It's so great, I want one. I saw a clip on Reddit today of a dog humping a tortoise. It was really sad. Just like full on going at it. It's probably that they like live for 1,000 years. Oh. 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 Holy shit, it's so big. What? Land Cruiser. I'm not convinced about these myths that
this
people
is from the
believe.
San Diego Zoo. I mean, these are probably questions that get asked all the time.
It's true. And no, they don't shoot their quills.
Maybe they should.
Maybe. It always reminds me of Homeward Bound. Chase sticks his face in a porcupine.
Yeah, it's not a smart thing.
Ostriches do not bury their heads in the sand. Why would they do that? Flee at more than 25 miles an hour and keep that pace for as long as 15 minutes. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's
6 miles.
It's pretty scary, actually. Like, ostriches are scarier than a lot of other...
They are pretty scary, yeah.
It's like the bird version of a moose.
Yeah.
Camouflage and Sega CD pictures do not mix. But you can hear its rattle. Remember that clip that we saw, the video of the guy with that sat next to a rattlesnake?
Yeah.
That was scary as fuck.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he was like, I'm gonna poke it with a stick. And I'm like, what the fuck? Ooh, listen, can you hear it? Danger's on its way. Rattlesnakes let you know they're coming by the sound of the rattles. People think you can tell Rattler's age by counting the number of rattles on its tail. Sorry, you can't. It just has one rattle. They get new rattles when they shed their skin, and that can be anywhere from once to 6 times each year. One of my favorite ever internet gifs is of the chameleon trying to climb up the water. Which is a little sad because it's kind of stressed that it's like trying to get away and trying to climb up something, but like they just can't, they have no concept of movement like that. So it doesn't understand that the water is running, it just sees it as one solid, like stick, basically. So it thinks it can climb up it, but it can't. Don't really change color like that. They display, the colors they display depend on things like light, temperature, and the health and emotions of the animals. The built-in green color is already effective at blending in with their surroundings, and they're able to increase their camouflage abilities when they're scared by flattening their bodies lengthwise and curling their long tails. In this shape, unwary predators can easily mistake them for a leaf or a twig. Oh, that's it. We did it all.
Fact or fable?
We did it.
Did you learn anything?
No.
You learned that some people think turtles lose their shells.
They just grow out of them. Can you imagine just seeing this naked tortoise turtle, like, wandering around trying to find a new shell?
You didn't learn anything about animals, but you learned something about dumb people.
Yes, that is true. It reminds me, I saw a clip of, on one of the zillions of nature documentaries there were, I've seen, they had hermit crabs, because they do grow out of their shells, and have to find a new house. And so what they do is they'll go around and they'll try and find a bigger shell, but sometimes it's too big for them to fit in. So what they do is they find one and then they wait for a bigger one to come out to find the new shell. And so then that way when that one moves in, they'll get the new one. And they'll like form whole lines basically of trying to like leapfrog.
Russian
to get,
nesting hermit crabs.
basically. Yeah, where they all just like move up a dress size basically. It's really cute. Islands.
There's a new icon down there.
Yeah. Oh, it probably is a globe that shows you where things like this exist.
Where are islands?
Map of the island biome. Oh, in the zoo probably. Nope.
That's where islands are.
Yep. It's little ones that aren't attached to anything else. Lava hills. Water's the edge. Those are dumb little horns. Look at those.
Yeah.
Why are they smart? I want to know about these horns. Zoo news. Here today, gone to Maui.
Boobaloo. Did you know that the Arctic is named after bears and not the other way around? So the Arctic Circle and Antarctica means the land with bears and the land without bears.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And then penguins are the opposite, right?
Yeah, there's penguins at the South Pole, there's not penguins at the North Pole.
Sea lions. Pelicans are scary. Those are one of those birds that will have multiple young and then just let the ones die that they can't feed. Oh, it's so cute. Can we get one?
Yeah.
Okay. It's so blubbery. Just want to cuddle up with one. Seal of approval. They're not seals, they're sea lions.
Seal is short for seal lion.
Oh, 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 oh. It's good. I like it. Flamingos. And you did the tortoise. Ooh, there might be more pictures though. Nope. Gray whale. They don't really live on the islands, do they?
Sometimes. Well, they die on the islands. They don't live on the islands.
Kingfisher. Burbs. Burbs. He's got a really big head.
Yeah.
For his body. Like, that shit looks photoshopped, doesn't it? It looks like one of those, like, where you Photoshop dogs' heads on birds.
I can relate to that bird.
That you have no fish and you have a real big head.
Yeah.
Quiet birds? That's a picture, so.
Yep. Can't hear anything. It's quiet. Neat Corky.
Like that 80s TV show?
Yeah. Like Corky Romano starring Chris Kattan.
No. Look at that little face. Look at that little...
Okay, so if you had to get a seal or a sea lion, which one would you get?
A seal.
Why?
Because they're cuter, they're not as big. They have better faces. Look at that! Look at that. Look at that face. Look at that fish.
Yeah.
Komodo dragon. Breeding. Aw, girl. Alright, what else do we got here? Zoo welcome. The Circle of Life. Belkula. Thank you for that follow. Did I watch this already?
I think it was the first video that popped up when you started it. But I think you also stopped it early.
It's true. We're figuring out. This is The Animals, which is on the Sega CD. It's basically a feature from the San Diego Zoo.
First visitors arrive. A time for morning greetings.
And it's got over 60 minutes of content, video clips, sound clips, photos, and little fun facts. So it's kind of like one of the early online encyclopedias.
It's kind of difficult to recognize that an animal that sleeps that much can actually have a personality, but they really do. They're very unique animals too, so they're really fascinating. They're actually
All those are real
marsupials
dumb.
rather than bears.
Yeah.
A lot of times people call them bears. That probably originated because they look sort of like teddy bears.
You could, but do you live in San Diego? That's the question.
Yeah.
If you live in the San Diego area, then yeah, you could just go there. Wild Animal Park. Zoo mission. Ooh, close enough. All right, well then, fucking go to the zoo, man.
When people wanted another giraffe,
giraffe.
another rhinoceros, they could simply go to the wild. They could buy them animal from an animal dealer who obtained it from the wild. Now that's no longer the case. In the last year, just the last year, half the rhinoceroses on the planet have disappeared. They're disappearing entirely. If they're going to persist, something is going to have to be done. Zoos, for some of these species, may be able to play a role, a small role in preserving some species so that they can be reintroduced to habitats in the future. The Przewalski horse behind me here is an example. This is a species that's extinct in the wild. If this species is going to persist on our planet, we're going to have to breed it successfully, because all the Przewalski horses in the world come from only 13 animals that came from the wild. We have to be very careful about the breeding of these animals so that we don't get them unnecessarily inbred, and so that we avoid genetic diseases and factors like this. And this is true for many other species besides the Przewalski horse.
There's a horse that is extinct in the wild, and so all the ones that they have now are descendants of 13 that they got from the wild. So they're partially responsible for continuing the life cycle of that entire species.
It's a privilege to be able to have a part to play in preserving an animal as magnificent as the Przewalski horse, or as a tapir, or as a gorilla or orangutan, or almost any of the species you can see here at the zoo. These are part of the treasure of biological resources of our planet.
You got to be careful of the inbreeding, for sure.
Now they're coming back, and the most fantastic thing would be able to participate in seeing that they go back into nature. That's really.
I like how they all have black knee highs. God, giraffes are the weirdest fucking animals.
Game preserve, certain animals will disappear.
So strange.
Because I believe in some years to come, there really won't be wild animals. They will be managed in some way or other.
Ew! 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 I don't like its nose.
The world to me would be a very, very lonely place if we were the only species inhabiting it. And at the rate of extinction of species, which is about one a day right now, and by the year 2000, maybe one a minute.
One a minute?
And those are rather accurate projections. We might be the last species, and indeed then we may in
sun bears
be in jeopardy as our habitats become so imperiled by human activity.
We have a tremendous opportunity to allow people to see the diversity, the wonders of different types of life that exist on this planet, and thereby we hope to let them come to appreciate this more and to participate more actively in saving
the ostrich
wildlife,
is like, I'm gonna fuck some
the
shit up.
forms of plants and animals that are in danger on our planet.
It's really interesting, actually. They, one of the documentaries I watched talked about Siberian tigers and about how they had been extinct, or Indian tigers. And part of the reason why is because of the human habitation in their areas. But the areas where humans are living, they're like super rural. And so what they're doing is they're like taking people out of that rural area and like rehoming them basically in more urban areas to try and like give back the land to the animals. And so they've been super successful with it on the tiger side of things, and they've really come back from the brink of extinction. It's kind of mixed feelings about the human relocation and about how it's been handled, but generally, you know, they're trying to make sure that they have, you know, jobs when they relocate and to move their family with them and things like that. So interesting techniques.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I feel like I've had a good run of the zoo situation. Are you gonna keep streaming after this, or
Probably not.
No?
Nah, it's kind of late considering I got up at like 6:40 this morning. So.
Yeah. Giant panda visits. Giant pandas visit the zoo.
High in the rugged Chonglai Mountains of central China, a young farm worker raced across the potato fields toward home. "I found a giant panda that is starving," she excitedly told her family and the other farm workers as she arrived at the village. The people knew they should help the suffering animal. This is because giant pandas are an unusual and rare species of bear living only in China's interior mountain ranges. Giant pandas are considered a national treasure of the People's Republic of China, and they are a critically endangered animal. Even one death would be a great loss to the species' survival. Immediately, the rescue began. The villagers dropped what they were doing and rushed to save the giant panda. They grabbed a large cage, some rope, and a long pole, then followed the young girl back across the fields and into a forest thick with towering fir, spruce, and maple trees. They crossed a raging stream and entered an area, Bassi Gully, that was covered with dying patches of bamboo as far as they could see. Near the bamboo and partly submerged in the stream lay a young giant panda. It was barely alive. The farm worker and the villagers quickly pulled the animal from the water. They dried it with their jackets. The dull eyes of the panda gazed up at the girl as it panted for breath. Several other rescuers lifted the panda into the cage. The long pole was tied to the top of the cage, making it easy for the villagers to carry the panda out of the forest. Two men, one at each end, balanced the pole on their shoulders so that the caged panda dangled between them. Then, they brought the panda back to their rescue station. There, the starving panda, a female that was named Bassi after the gully in which she was found, was nursed back to health. Bassi was starving
She looks
because the bamboo
stoned
was
as
dying
fuck.
in various regions of China. Bamboo leaves, shoots, and stalks are the giant panda's main food. Although they will also eat meat, pandas are usually too slow to catch the rats, squirrels, and other small mammals that share their forest habitat.
It's funny, it says that they eat meat, but
Like
they're too slow
everything
to
else,
catch
it
the
is
animals
normal
that
for
they like the
bamboo to
rodents
die,
and stuff.
usually dying about every 40 to 100 years.
Pandas are the dumbest.
Before it dies,
Yeah.
the bamboo, which is really a woody grass, flowers. Then, it drops seeds, so new bamboo can sprout. Several years must pass, though, before the seeds grow into tall new bamboo plants that the giant pandas can eat. Years ago, when the bamboo died in one area, the giant panda could travel easily to a different mountain to find more living bamboo. But now, new farms and villages often block their way, so many pandas simply starve to death in withered bamboo patches. Then, too, many forests and bamboo thickets have been destroyed to build these farms and villages. The villagers were pleased that they
Koi
had saved
panda.
Bassi's life. After she fully regained her strength at the giant panda rescue station, the Chinese
Just wanna rub
government
that
decided
belly.
that she would not be returned to the wild. Instead, she would live at the Fuzhou Zoo. She and a male giant panda named Yan Yan were later chosen to go to the United States as goodwill ambassadors to help many people learn about the endangered status of the giant panda. The lucky zoo
Oh, they
chosen
opened
to
a Panda
host
Express in
Bassi
San
and
Diego
Yan
Zoo?
Yan was the San Diego Zoo in California.
Free orange chicken.
When San Diego Zoo staff heard that the giant pandas were coming to visit, the excitement began. Giant pandas had never been in San Diego before. Indeed, a lot of people were thrilled that the world's most famous zoo would be the temporary home for a pair of one of the world's most popular animals. When the giant pandas arrived in San Diego, a lot of excited people greeted them. Even reporters and photographers were there. More than 50 waited eagerly as Bassie and Yan Yan arrived in a huge airplane after a 17-hour flight from China.
Seems like if you have a breeding pair that's trying to like repair the endangered species, shipping them halfway across the world doesn't really seem like
well, you know,
the best way.
When your marriage is
like
getting stale, yeah, you want to go on an exotic vacation, leave the kids with grandma, turn off your phone, and just get to reconnect with your partner, you know?
A few days after Bassie and Yan Yan arrived, zoo roosters crowed, peacocks cackled, kookaburras giggled, and a mist rose from the hippo's pond. People were already lining up at the main entrance to the zoo. Today was the first day for people to see the giant pandas. 800 special friends of the San Diego Zoo were invited to the celebrations. With the sharp crack of a drum and the clanging of cymbals, a traditional Chinese lion dance began the festivities. Dancers in a colorful, shimmering lion costume swooped and swirled past the crowd. Young children joined the excited crowd, marching by, waving pink, blue, green, and yellow flags. Then, with two clangs of a Chinese gong, the bamboo curtains to the panda's enclosure were rolled up. A few moments later, out waddled Yan Yan. The crowd gasped at its first sight of this special animal. Yan Yan's keeper celebrated too, by giving Yan Yan a paw shake, and then she dropped a bunch of plump red grapes into his furry palm. Suddenly, Bassie made her first appearance. Her keeper, Cao Ling, handed Bassie a bouquet of colorful flowers, which Bassie accepted and then waved them to the crowd. Her next feat was to push a stroller across the floor. Bassie had trouble steering the stroller, so Cao Ling helped her guide it.
They made her do tricks. And then it ate a baby.
That baby looks photoshopped as fuck.
The trained panda knew just what to do. When Cao Ling handed Bassie a human baby doll, the panda cradled it in her arms and gently patted it on the back. People oohed and awed.
It's really cute. And like cuddled the baby doll.
Hoped that Bassie would one day become a mother to a baby panda. Most certainly, Bassie would care for her own baby a bit differently. A giant panda is born blind.
It's so ugly.
Its eyes are closed until it is
like a fucked up clown.
Its front body is covered with thin white hair that doesn't begin to thicken and turn black in parts until it is a week old. The newborn panda weighs about 4 ounces, the weight of a stick of butter, and it is 800 times smaller than its mother.
A newborn panda weighs the same amount as a stick of butter.
During its first month of life, the mother panda holds it in one furry paw,
800 times smaller than its parent.
The cub's loud cries are a signal that it is hungry. The mother holds her infant to her breast up to 14 times a day, so it can suckle her milk.
Maybe she
As the baby grows bigger and stronger, it nurses less often. The mother
My poops aren't 800 times smaller than me.
Bamboo. By the time a cub is 7 months old,
a stick of butter?
it has grown considerably and is about the size of the cub in this picture. Bassie and Yan Yan lived in separate areas in their exhibit at the San Diego Zoo. This was because giant pandas live by themselves in the wild. They are only together when they breed. Still, if the pandas felt friendly, they could rub noses or touch paws through the bars that divided them. Later, when they got to know each other better, they enjoyed playing with each other. People especially enjoyed these antics as prime time.
Drunken mugshot.
Bassie and Yan Yan were handled by their trainers for a very special reason. If they were used to people, then researchers could easily gather valuable information about them. Mr. Chen, the Fuzhou Zoo director, made house calls to the pandas' exhibits. During his examinations, he gathered valuable data. He listened to the pandas' heartbeats, took their temperatures, and measured their blood pressures and breathing rates. He could even give the animals shots if they were sick or collect blood samples. The medical data Mr. Chen collected and the information he learned about the pandas would be helpful to other scientists who are trying to save the giant panda from extinction.
Rodney
Before
Mullen?
waving goodbye to the zoo guests, Bassie entertained them with one more feat. She balanced on a teeter-board and caught colorful rings with her paws.
Pandas can't fuck, but you can teach them to teeter-totter.
The panda premiere when Bassie and Yan Yan's first performance ended. Bassie was then treated to a feast of bamboo and apples, and was soon sound asleep.
That was really cute. Alright. I feel like I'm good with
You got
the
what
animals.
you want to get out of this?
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's bury the lead.
Okay.
Assuming that you were not done with this, I mean, you might not be, too. If you wanted to do more, you could. What is your verdict for the animals for Sega CD?
We're gonna red light.
Red light it? Why is that?
Because I don't feel like it's very interactive for streaming.
It is not. That is true. Alright, well then, congratulations.
Thank you.
On your first win in this iteration of ERNing Cred.
Yes.
You are
total completion.
You have beaten 0.7% of
You calculated that first.
Of all the Sega CD games released in North America.
You should say titles.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not really a game.
That's true. So what did you think about this?
I thought it was really neat. I mean, I think in a time where...
Okay, well, let's frame that. That. This came out in 1994.
Okay.
So young Ern was...
10.
Would you have... If you had a Sega CD... If you got a Sega CD for Christmas with this...
Mm-hmm.
Would you have just sort of cursorily browsed it, or would you think you would have, like, digested it?
I think I would have ripped through the whole content.
Yeah.
I would have explored everything, I think.
Like,
maybe not in one sitting, but
yeah,
for sure.
Well, you don't have to. You know,
yeah.
There's no reason to do
that.
The fact that it's endorsed and sort of produced by the San Diego Zoo, how do you think about that?
I think it's interesting because it, of course, is marketing materials for them, but it's also outreach because not everybody is going to be able to go to the San Diego Zoo, even though it is, again, like the world's most famous zoo.
Yeah.
So not everybody is going to have that opportunity to be there in person. So I think it's a really interesting way to bring the zoo to people.
Okay. How much do you think this cost when it came out?
Oh gosh. $40?
That is exactly correct.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks. I was thinking it's not going to be as much as like an actual video game, but it's still like, you know, at the time,
it's kind of cutting edge.
Cutting edge technology.
Yeah. And it's interesting because when CD-ROMs became big, we had a lot of this sort of thing. You had Compton's Interactive Encyclopedia, Encarta a little bit later on after that, but you had these sort of just like multimedia discs where it wasn't really like...
Atticus says it's like a CD that comes with your new computer in the 90s to showcase your computer's performance power.
Yes and no. Like, the odd thing about this game, this title, is that it came out in 1994, right? So CD-ROMs have been out for the mass market at least 2 years, maybe closer to 3 or 4. These kinds of applications, as far as consoles go, were no longer really... Like, the experiment had failed at this point. You know, you're saying, like, okay, there are some aspects to disc-based games that are great. But, like, the idea that you would sell someone on a Sega CD and say, and your kids can learn.
Yeah.
That was a dead idea at this point. So this came out pretty late in terms of that kind of movement in CD-ROM technology. So it's kind of weird. And I was reading an article while you were watching it. It was like, you know, it's games like this coming out in 1994 helped kill the Sega CD, and it's like, I don't think anyone knew that this came out in 1994.
Yeah.
It just wasn't that big of a
splash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It cost $40, brand new. If you went to the store in 1994 to get this, $40. The manual does not really have like supplemental material. It's just here's how you navigate the menus.
Yeah,
so,
which makes sense because the material is supposed to be in the CD.
Right.
So.
What do you think of the interface?
It felt a little slow.
Yeah.
I think, like, if they're... But again, you know, with having limited buttons, I think part of it is because there are so many other buttons on the controller I'm using.
Yeah.
That it makes me want to be able to, like, use the shoulder buttons to pop left or right to the screen. So it felt a little slow, like, having to walk that guy across the map and everything. So it's an interesting concept. It makes it feel more like... I don't know, more of an interactive experience, I guess.
Yeah.
Than just, like, moving a cursor or moving a selection.
What did you think about the visual quality?
Gosh, it's hard because the visuals look so shitty compared to current visuals.
Mm-hmm.
I think even, like, I'm trying to remember doing stuff on the computer when I was this age, and I feel like it wasn't as pixelated as this is. I could just be misremembering or not remembering the right time frame too. So
if you're putting it in this time frame, the pixelization is, in terms of the videos, pretty accurate. It's pretty par for the course.
Yeah.
The color palette is what the Sega CD has a problem with. The Sega CD has a really limited color palette.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we had that picture of the rattlesnake. I think on, like, Compton's or Encarta, you would have been able to, like, I see the rattlesnake, and on this, it's just like...
It's a brownish blob with other darker brown blobs on it.
How do you feel about the amount of content on this?
It seems like a lot. I mean, some things are repeated. You know, like, they'll show blips about the fact or fable things, and then you go to the habitat and it's there. So it seems like there's maybe some overlap there, but I mean, there's a ton of different different habitats that we didn't even touch. So
Atticus asked, do you think that they charged because you could control it with a sprite-based character? Because it seems like something that came with my Encarta disc that came with your new Power Mac.
Oh, that it should be something that would just be a throw-in?
Yeah.
But it was earlier than that, too. But it's also... Excuse me. It's also, like, the San Diego Zoo that's producing this.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just, like, Sega saying, look how cool our content is, you know, at the very beginning of the system.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a later release. It's got sort of like the San Diego Zoo branding to it. And I think the other thing, too, is that you have to think about it in the sense that if your Encarta disc came with your Power Mac, like, yeah, it is to show off, like, look what the Power Mac can do.
Mm-hmm.
And the pack-ins for the Sega CD, you had stuff like Sewer Shark and Tomcat Alley. They pushed, like, Surgical Strike, games like that. They pushed the FMV game for the Sega CD. They certainly had multimedia applications, but Sega didn't push that very hard. They didn't want to be like, oh, you know, like, it can do... It could have an encyclopedia. It could have the animals.
Mm-hmm.
But they wanted to show, like... They took the angle of, look what CDs do for games.
Yeah.
So, yes and no. Like, it's kind of... I think they charged because they could, you know?
Yeah.
You're not going to, like, sell a Sega CD in 1994 by packing in this disc with it. So... Since we have now a completed Sega CD title under our belts, I'm kind of curious to get your opinion on the Sega CD 2 games into it.
It feels like a really unique system.
Mm-hmm.
I would be interested in playing more of that FMV.
Yeah, full motion video. You got it.
Like, the thing with Surgical Strike that I had a problem with was the instruction.
Yeah.
You know, like, the actual gameplay and the visuals and the little movies in between, all of that was pretty cool. It was more just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It was frustrating. As somebody who grew up with computers rather than with consoles for the most part, it is a more familiar experience, I think, for me. Because it feels more like an early 90s computer than it does a console.
Yeah, that's very true. That is very true. And we're kind of cheating a little bit because
No, the Sega CD could not handle... They didn't release Myst for the Sega CD. It would not be able to do Phantasmagoria. We're cheating a little bit because we've done two things that I picked these two games for a couple of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
One is that I only own like 5 Sega CD games.
Fair.
Two is these have both been my picks, Surgical Strike and the Animals,
Mm-hmm.
and they're two genres of, we're going to just say games for the sake of not arguing for semantics, that don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And are very iconic to this era of video games or multimedia. The Sega CD has a lot of stuff that's more just like a Genesis game with good audio. Like, it's got a lot of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get to that. But these are kind of just more interesting
weird
looks
niche
at
kind of things.
Gaming in the early 90s, you know. And stuff like this, especially when CD technology came out, pre-PlayStation, because Sony took a hard stance. They were like, this is for games. You can listen to CDs, and you can play games. But the TurboGrafx CD to a small extent, the Sega CD to a slightly larger extent, and then especially like the 3DO and the CDI, were like, these are... It's kind of... If you think about the way that Microsoft is selling Xboxes these days, where... They don't have a lot of exclusives,
multimedia
so they always push like you can watch Netflix, you can watch Twitch, you can stream movies, and you can like get Pandora, and they pitch it as this.
Playing CDs on the original Xbox.
Yeah,
you know that far back.
Yeah, they did pitch all of that as kind of like that's how Microsoft pitches the Xbox these days, and that's how these early CD consoles were pitched as these, you read about birds and listen to high quality classical music and. Play this high action game. It was this whole concept that you wouldn't get on a cartridge because you have a couple megabytes versus a couple hundred. Yeah. So they did release a Jurassic Park for the Sega CD. You are correct about that, and it is a different version of Jurassic Park than the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo, or the Genesis. It's its own unique thing.
Thank you, ZG, for that host.
Yeah, it is a big host.
We appreciate you guys. What were you playing? I could see something like this on the DS.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the DS actually does have stuff like this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even something like Nintendogs, that's like a Tamagotchi type of thing, but that has like information about the breed of dog and is more of an experience, educational experience, like the Brain Age games and just stuff like that that aren't as typical video game options.
Yeah.
Geometry Dash. I don't know what that is, but have you played that? What is it?
I don't know it that well. I know the name. I'm not super familiar with the actual gameplay. I couldn't speak to it, but you could follow ZG and find out.
I could. I don't know. I might be. I don't
know. You're here at the end of ERNing Cred, and probably the end of the stream, ZG. I appreciate the host anyways, but Earn tonight played NFL 2K, which got a red light, but kind of opened her eyes to football video games.
It was the first football video game that I've ever played.
Yeah.
We played the tutorial, which I lost by 1 touchdown. And then I did an exhibition game. We didn't get through the whole exposition game, just the first quarter or so. But the Lions were up almost a full touchdown. So.
And then we played The Animals on Sega CD, and we just basically watched a bunch of videos on animals and talked about animals for about an hour. Which got a red light, but also Earn is done with it.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't need to be played more.
Yeah, there's nothing to beat, really, so.
We'll run into a couple, mostly on, like, 8-bit systems, where we'll run into a lot of stuff where it's like, there's no win condition. It's like, you just want to get as far as you can, but there's no ending.
That's so weird.
But yeah, this is done. Basically, there's no ending or anything. A lot of games did today. Yeah, we played a lot of games today. We beat Narc, we beat Takeshi's Challenge, we beat Toy Story 2, and then we played some Home Alone 2 and some Duke Nukem 3D. So yeah, we did a lot of stuff.
That is
really
a lot.
Can't. I don't know, Krasny Bones. You might want to just try
refreshing
or something. Yeah, because the video's there.
We're playing.
Yeah, and you can hear us, but yeah, I don't know. So that's it for ERNing Cred for this week. Unless there's anything else you want to say about either of these two games, the Sega CD, what you already said you want to play some like FMV stuff.
Yeah, I think that would be neat, just to get different experiences to see how I feel about it without the control issues, or maybe that personal, control issue. So
we'll get into some fun stuff on that. But next ERNing Cred in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Is personal recommendations.
Yes, which has been a very successful category.
Yeah.
John Cena. Oh, because he can't see us.
Yeah.
So yeah, most of them have gotten green lights. One red light after a yellow light, and then another yellow light.
I think so, yeah.
Everything else has been green lit.
I think so, yep. Try some new stuff, and then you guys are working through Secret of Mana.
Yep. Fridays, so we'll be back at twitch.tv/ERNTheAlmighty.
I know about how far you are into the game, if you're curious, if you just want it to be unspoiled.
I feel like we're towards the end. Like, not end game necessarily, but...
Yeah.
What would you categorize it as?
I would estimate you at 55% complete.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's so much more.
I think you're past the halfway point.
Yeah.
But not by much.
Okay.
So
well, that's good. We've got more hours to go in that guy.
And then we'll be here next Sunday working on more Super Paper Mario, or are you going to switch it up?
I think probably still more Super Paper Mario, because I don't want to bounce around too much, because then I lose interest and forget what I'm doing.
So, good stuff, good content.
Good
One
games.
more ERNing Cred, not learning cred, but ERNing Cred in July, and then August we'll try some new games and see what you think.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah. So, normally we take a break and, reset ourselves for some more games, but we beat 3 games today, and I'm pretty tired because my sleep schedule's on the early side right now. So, we're just going to call it a night. Let's find someone to host. Let's talk about the sponsors.
I'm gonna sign this over to you. Yeah.
Okay.
So that you can be effective in your stream ending.
All right. Well, thank you for ERNing Cred with me tonight.
Of course. Thank you for hosting.
Yeah.
As always.
I'm glad that you didn't hate anything that you played this evening.
That's always a success for Radon's choices.
Honestly, I thought you were gonna enjoy the animals more than NFL 2K, but there was definitely a weird episode.
It was very unique.
Yeah, I didn't want to I was always being very when I was describing it in chat, I was like, it's gonna be an interesting episode. It's not gonna be meant necessarily fun or engaging.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be an episode that is going to be different than anything anyone else has seen so far. Sports game, edutainment, presentation.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird one, but.
Yeah. But it was a good time.
Yeah.
And I love you.
I love you too.
I'll see you soon.
Are you talking to me or the chat?
To you.
Okay.
I'll see the chat in a week.
Yeah. Well, donations do stack for the month, Dyson. They do stack for the month.